The state's proposed resolution of the case would be for the defendant to plead guilty to counts 3, 4, and 11 as charged. Counts 3 and 4 are both titled murder. They are murder B under 2903.02B. Count 11 is drug possession of felony of the 5th degree under 2925.11.
Anything that we have to discuss? Trials coming up soon? Any issues? Any discovery problems? Anything we need to talk about?
From my position, Your Honor, no. We've turned over everything. I gave Mr. McDonald a few items today, but we'll be ready to go forward on this up.
Okay, Mr. McDonald, anything on your end?
Welcome, my friends. Hello, welcome. Today, we are wrapping up, hopefully, the trial of Mackenzie Shirilla. I would like to thank our friend legally for grabbing us the transcripts. And before we go anywhere, I'm not going to look at the comments, even though I really want to. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming to Con Air. I made a little script for us so I could remember what we're doing. We're flying on Con Air. We have no idea where you're going or where we'll land. You might stop at 5 airports on the way there. We're not here to collect any kind of positive review. We don't care. You're the state property now. We are on Con Air. We are doing the Mackenzie Shirilla case. If you don't know who Mackenzie Shirilla is, she is was a 17-year-old girl who I have a lot of opinions. Everyone does. So I try to think of her as a wounded child. She drove her car into a brick wall and killed her boyfriend and her boyfriend's friend who had no time for her. Before we get started, we are going to set sacred space. If you set sacred space different or you've never heard of it, I was taught whenever you do anything that goes between dimensions or healing modalities to call in the quarters and set sacred space. When you call in the quarters, I always have a candle lit and I just light some sage. And I imagine like a white bubble all around me from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. And when you call in the quarters, you're calling in the directions. I would like to call in Archangel Michael on the south, Kuan Yin and Isis on the west, Sandalphon in the north, the Magdalena clan on the east. I would like to ask the grandmothers of the universe to surround the sacred space. And we'll ask Raphael to be the bouncer to only allow us to hear and say the things that need to be said to convey the message. Everything is easier once you set sacred space. And I also have a bell for when energy just feels like a little heavy. All right, our flight is ready for departure. We are going to head in. I'm hoping that I have an updated map for us. If you're new, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. If you haven't dropped your location, and by location, like, we don't want your street address, just either a city, a state, country. We're migrating everything to a world map because we have international here. Con Air technically doesn't fly internationally that we know of. We do have a friend who's trained air marshal and knows a little bit more about it. I just know about it from YouTube when people get out of prison and they talk about Con Air. So we hopefully have all of the documents that we need. I'm sure things will come up. One thing that's really fun about Con Air is you learn flexibility. So let's jump back in to court. I also just grabbed a couple more documents that were unscribed for her appeal. I don't know why I bothered. I mean, they missed the deadline. Who cares? But okay. Sorry if I'm looking over there. We have two screens. We're kind of a big deal. Well, really what happened was our friend Debbie. Welcome to the Con Air flight crew. Debbie, Phil, and Jamie are wonderful mods. Phil, I found you. I used a different name. I stalked you, but you're on there now. And there are only 2 rules to chat. And I personally have a zero tolerance policy. They might be nicer than I am, but don't be a dick and act like you're in English lit, not on Facebook. We're not white trash. And I have zero. Disagreeing is totally fine. That's not the thing. Disagreeing with like respect or just like explaining your thing, that's different. That is okay. You're not taking shots below the belt. You're not personally attacking someone. Like, these to me are super basic. So anyway, welcome. Our mods keep everything in check. We also have a friend. He is an emotional support animal. He's not the animal. He just got 2 new puppies though. Bobby is also hopefully here, and he helps keep the flight on track. He's fun, and he is our emotional support friend. But he did just get 2 new puppies. If anyone needs any healing or prayers, then we will send you love and light. And we are going, oh boy, to get down to the defense. Dun, dun, dun. I did try to pull all the defense. There are a couple I couldn't find. Defense exhibits, but I couldn't find them all. And now I'm just looking for the defense arguments. While I'm looking for those, actually, why don't we start? Oh, actually, I made a few videos. I'll show you those while I'm looking for these. I have been collecting. We have, thanks to all of our friends and the FOIA drop, we have almost everything so far that I know of that's available for the Shirilla case. I'm not over the Shirilla case, but at all. I still have questions. The questions, we have an ongoing list of questions. One of them is the Balenciaga bag. She got it yesterday in the hospital visit with Detective Hazu. She said, "Is it the Michael Kors bag?" And he's like, "No, it's Coach," or something. Like somehow they were 2 different bags, but I don't remember ever hearing that they recovered one. So why don't we watch a little bit of Tyler? Oh, the kid in the red jacket. I saw a comment asking me where they can learn more about the kid in the red jacket. I don't know, but we do not name them here because that was the night Kanye was born. We went off script. I don't really know, but so we don't mention their names. Although this is very enlightening, and I think it's going to come in handy for the defense. So we are going to watch a little bit of the kid in the red jacket, his interview. While we get started, I'm going to find all these court documents. Well, it's really just one, and we might just listen to a little bit of it, but we're going to start with that so that you don't have to watch me find it all. Thank you so much for coming, spending some time with us. I'm so psyched. I love you guys very much. I appreciate everyone. And I will make myself tiny so that you can watch him. We'll see how the sound is.
Want the door open or closed? That's fun. All right. So we got a few questions for you. We understand you're not under arrest.
Yeah.
You walk out anytime you want. We have approximately 10 questions that we wanted to ask you. First thing is, how long have you known Mackenzie?
Probably when I moved to Strongsville, so 9th grade. I came here probably when I was 16. I came from Brook Park.
So how old are you now?
18. Actually, I was probably 15 when I came here. So
15?
Yeah.
So 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And so how long were you guys in a relationship, you and her?
Well, we were all friends in a friend group at first, and Joey dated her first before I came to Strongsville, and then I ended up dating her for a little bit, like probably over the summer. I was only dating her for probably like a month and a half or like 2 months, and then me and Dom found out that she was like she was cheating on us basically, but it wasn't like anything official, so it wasn't no hard feelings like with whatever happened. I just kind of was like, after me and Dom found out about that, we didn't have no problems with each other and nothing, but it was kind of like, why are you doing that and stuff like that? Why didn't you tell Dom? And Dom would ask her like, are you leading him on and stuff like that, and she would just lie to him. And then that's basically it with that. I don't for like 2 months, and then after that, like they were on and off, and I kept on talking to her still while they were on and off because we were all still in the friend group and stuff. So, and then we kind of just like stopped being intimate, you know what I'm saying? And we're just friends. Around when she turned 16, I think, because I was at her birthday dinner with her family and stuff like that. And then after that, she had a party for Kalahari. All of us went, like Dom, me, AJ, Joey, Amory, Megan, Natalie, and Kenzie. And that was probably like when we stopped being intimate, was around her birthday. And after we went to Kalahari, and then it was just her and Dom after that.
Can you explain what you mean by intimate?
Like kissing or hugging or just like anything that like would happen in a relationship, you know what I mean?
Were you physically, sexually?
No, we never had sex, but we would make out.
Who's Joey?
Joey Probes. He dated her. He's like one of my best friends, but he dated her. I know before I came to Strongsville for a little bit. I don't know.
Okay.
She was younger than 15.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to pause that here because we're going to go into the defense. Well, this is the defense, the case for the defense for Mackenzie Shirilla. She was a 17-year-old Strongsville teenager who literally drove her car into a brick wall and killed her boyfriend and his friend. I'm going to say it's his friend because Davion was in the back seat and had zero time for her. So where did court just go? Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Oh boy. Everyone take a deep breath. We're going to start with the defense. And I 100% completely understand what a defense attorney's role in the court system is. I don't think that's a free pass to be rude or lie. I don't know. I think it really speaks to his integrity. And I just don't. He reminds me of Mackenzie Shirilla in a old bald male man, like a old bald white man. Okay, here we go. Direct examination of Allison I'm sorry, Allison, by Mr. McDonald. So this is all still the same day. Yesterday, we had the state closed their case. We went through the exhibits, and now the defense is presenting. We don't need, she's going to state her name. Wait, she didn't get sworn in. Okay, well, all right. Are you employed, ma'am? I'm self-employed. What do you do? Oh, this is Allison. Oh, there's actually something about this that's important. Okay. Are you employed, ma'am? Yes, I'm self-employed. What do you do? I own an organic produce market. And where's that located? It's in Strongsville. How long have you owned it for? 6.5 years. Do you know an individual by the name of Mackenzie Shirilla? I do. And do you see? Oh, of course he's doing this. Good for him. This is good. In the bind over hearing, the prosecution forgot to have anyone point out the defendant. And do you see her seated in the courtroom? I do. And how is it that, well, he didn't have to, he asked her if he saw her, but didn't point her out. Oh, okay. Interesting. And how is it that you know her? She was a regular shopper at my store. For how long a period of time has she been coming into your store? For about a year before this all happened. And when she came, would she come with anyone at certain times? She would come with Dominic and maybe another girlfriend. Do you know Dominic's last name? I do. It's Rousseau. How often would you see Dominic and Mackenzie coming to your store together? 2 or 3 times a week. So you saw them together at least 100 times. Is that accurate? Yeah, that's fair to say. During the time that you observed them, did you ever see them? Did they get along? Oh, yes, they were very loving. They usually held hands or had their arms around each other, and you could tell that they were very much in love. Of course they were. They were in public, and Mackenzie didn't want anyone to see her being a raging psycho. Would that also include the last 4 months prior to this incident? That's correct, right? Yes. Oh, thank you very much. No further questions. Cross? Nope. You're all set. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, the reason that this is important, that Allison testimony, we are going to find this allegedly. We are going to find a Google map of, it's like Allison's Organic or something. And I'll share, we'll just Google it together and we're going to look at this map together. I saw this in, I don't know where I saw it actually. Allison's Organic Store. Okay, the reason this is important is because Allison's Superfood Market. Okay. We're going to get some directions from, we'll do it from Dom's. 15000 Dom. Lund Road. I'll just start with Lund Road and then we'll go from there. Okay, the reason that this is important is because, oh, you can't see it. Because apparently, and if anyone's in Strongsville or knows what we're looking for, okay. Allison, what is this called? Allison Superfoods Market. It's on Prospect. Okay. Supposedly, where the accident was versus where Allison's store is what the defense is, I think, about to argue that she was in the area all the time for. Oh, here's Plitco. Okay. Oh, well, wait a second. Lund Road is down here. Okay, that doesn't really work. Actually, sorry to tell you, defense. Okay, so say, well, this is where she takes, coming down the street, she takes the right here, Pearl in Progress. It stops, well, the crash is right here. The defense is trying to say that, I think, this is just me assuming, that the defense is going to say that she was always trying to get to this Allison's market. It's the Allison Superfoods Market. But Dom lives down here, and she only lives 1 mile away from him. So that totally does not work. I wonder how they're going to argue it. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that map for your own, just so you knew. I think that's what he's going to argue. Maybe it'll be at closing statements, but that way you'll know what he's looking for. Oh, hello. Fancy meeting you here. Okay. The witness was excused. Well, she wasn't sworn in. I don't think. All right. Oh, here it is. Okay. We skipped it last time. Yes, she was sworn in. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Con Air. We are so excited that you're with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our flight is ready for departure. Welcome aboard, new passengers. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for flying Con Air. Flight attendants, please prepare your doors for takeoff. And put your tray tables up because we don't want it all over the cabin. Except on Con Air, I don't think you really probably have tray tables. You're chained to everything, I'm guessing. All right. Thank you all for being here. If you're new, please drop your city or where you live. It doesn't have to, we don't want your street address, just like your town or state or country, so we can put it on our map. All right. The direct examination of Candace Shipley. Sorry, I am. Okay. Can you please state your name and spell it? Okay, Candace Shipley. Do you know Mackenzie Shirilla? I do. Describe your relationship to her. Oh, she's my niece. And what side are you related to, her mother or her father? I'm related to her mom. And what is your relationship to her mother? She's my niece. This is my great niece. How long have you lived in the, okay, I think I saw this somewhere. This might be in a documentary, not the Netflix documentary, but this clip might be in, like, there's 3 other really good ones, much better than the Netflix one. I think this section is in one of those documentaries. And how long have you lived in the Cleveland area? Well, I've lived here most of my life. I moved to Florida and then I moved back. I've been here almost 2 years. And did you move back here before this incident? I did. Oh, okay. And you and I have talked about this before, isn't that correct? Yes. And you've testified in court before? She did. Where? Why don't we ask her about that? Yes. I'm going to direct your attention to a couple days before this crash. Do you have that day in mind? Yes, it was the 28th, I believe, a Thursday. Of what year? 2022. And how is it that you have that date in mind? Well, Mackenzie was coming over. She was going to watch my dogs, be my dog watcher. This is the job that Natalie's like, she couldn't have been wanting to unalive herself because she had a job. We were talking about getting healthy, and she was, interrupt. Who came to your house? Mackenzie and Dom. And when you say Dom, who is Dom? Dom was Mackenzie's boyfriend. The purpose of them coming over to your house was what? To introduce them to the dogs. I just told you she was going to be our dog watcher and get them used to my house and to the puppies. And how long did they stay at your house? Probably about 3 hours. How long has it been since you had your niece over? Oh, she'd been over prior 2 or 3 times, but we were up here for a wedding. So it'd been about 5 or 6 years. And how long of a period of time did Dominic and Mackenzie stay at your house? I just told you, 3 hours. Were you present with them the entire time? Oh, I was. During the entire time that you were with them, did you see any signs of discontent or unhappiness between them? No. Pardon me? None, absolutely none. Well, what were your observations of the two of them? Well, we talked about the future, and we talked about God. We talked about her modeling. We talked about her. And he was laughing because he was going, well, I guess I'm going to just have to support her. We made plans to go to dinner, and we talked about fresh food and learning to eat correctly, and interruption. Did you learn the status of their relationship? I did. They were very much in love. Okay. Did the two of them talk about their future plans? Yes, they did. Did each of them talk about future plans? Yes. Thank you very much. No further questions. Cross? Nope. You're done. You're done. The witness was excused. Okay, hello. Can you please raise your right hand for me? The defendant. Oh, yes. We need a drum roll, please. Natalie Shirilla, come on down. Oh, where's our drum roll? There we go. Oh, Natalie. Oh, Natalie. I'm just gonna remind us where her daughter is and how much this didn't matter.
This is a prepaid collect call from an incarcerated individual at Cuyahoga County Correction Center.
All right, come on down, Natalie. It's your turn. She's getting sworn in. Oh, boy. Please state your name. She's spelling it. Do you see Mackenzie in this courtroom? I do. What is your relationship to her? It's my daughter. You and I have talked numerous times, correct? Uh-huh. Please answer yes or no, Natalie. We don't accept, like, literally the court reporter. I think the judge in this court has said that before. You have to say yes or no so the court reporter can pick it up. Well, I'm going to just ask you a couple of questions. Prior to the date of this homicide, did you ever see or hear your daughter express suicidal thoughts? Never. Oh, really? Please hold. Yours truly would like to play a quick clip that we found. Perhaps it was in the FOIA doc. I don't know. But I'll just remind her that she's under oath. And this would be really, really easy for the prosecutors to just bring back up. This is just a quick reminder for Steve and Natalie.
For some information on, my daughter's a little bit out of control. She's screaming and yelling. She's threatened to kill herself. She's combative with me and her mother. I'm just I don't know what I can do or what
We'll just play that one more time.
For some information on, my daughter's a little bit out of control. She's screaming and yelling. She's threatened to kill herself. She's combative.
What did you say, Steve?
She's combative with me and her mother. She's threatened to kill herself.
Okay, that's all we needed. Thank you. We'll head back to court. Let me ask you that again, Natalie. Prior to this crash, did you ever see or hear your daughter express suicidal thoughts? Never. Okay. It has been testified in the medical records your daughter suffered from POTS. Do you know what POTS is? Yes, yeah, I do. Could you please tell us what POTS is? Well, POTS is a condition where your blood pressure gets very low, and it happens sometimes. You know what we should do, actually, is have Natalie explain to us what POTS is, because Natalie has a certain way of not explaining it. We'll just pull up a little Natalie Shirilla. Chris Cuomo, when she tries to tell us about POTS, we'll just let her explain it. Thank you for holding and your patience here on Con Air. I am just trying to make this the most comfortable flight ever because, we just have a quick little something. I would like Natalie to just explain to us what POTS is so that we can get her vibe. Natalie is coming on the stage shortly. She's just prepping in the back. And we're just going to watch the quick clip where she explains to us how she just told everyone, except we couldn't find one witness who would come and say that. But she just told everyone about POTS. And the judge actually calls her out in the sentencing and says her mom's own uncorroborated statement. Okay, at 10:46. Oh, this thing is only like 11 minutes long. Okay.
Each other. They made sure that they had each other's food. He cared about her health, and he was trying to work on her. She has POTS, so he was trying to figure out her pots and her diet and stuff. So they were very cute together. There's no context in those text messages. That was just them trying to figure out how to work through these situations that they had building up, but that's not who they were. I know it's what it looks like, but that's not who they were.
Ah, darn. Well, maybe that'll help with the context. Okay. Oh boy. And you can, okay, so Natalie, POTS it's a condition where your blood pressure gets very low, and it happens sometimes when you stand up too fast. You can pass out. Sometimes it's different from person to person. It's regulated through salt tabs, compression socks, increased fluid and diet, but your blood pressure drops really, really low and your heart rate increases. Have you ever observed your daughter experience these symptoms? Oh, yes, I have. On how many occasions prior to this intentional crash? Multiple. Oh, a couple for sure. Oh, I should get the clip of her telling Chris Cuomo it only happened once. Now, there have been prior testimony. Mackenzie would leave the Rousseau residence and spend the night at your house because of fights between Dominic and Mackenzie. You and I have talked about that, right? Yes. In the 6 months prior to this crash, did Mackenzie ever spend the night with you? No. Where did she spend her nights? She was always at their house, the Rousseau home. Oh, you know what else we need is the clip of Christine saying she never once checked on her daughter, ever. So that never happened. Is that correct? No. No further questions. Cross. This is Tim Troop. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Welcome to Con Air. I am so excited you're here. While you're here, please like, share, subscribe, do all the things. We are trying to get to 10,000 and we cannot do it without you. This is Tim Troop. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Tim and I'm the prosecutor's office. I'd like to ask you a few questions. The first thing I would like to ask you about is POTS. When was Mackenzie diagnosed with POTS? In 2017. And who diagnosed her? Oh, goodness. Gosh, Sonia? I just can't remember her name. Her neurologist, and then she left. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, I'm sorry. Her name escapes me. Okay, that's convincing. Where was she diagnosed? At the Cleveland Clinic. And why was she being treated for this? Because the first thing that happened when I called, I was in the living room and she was in the kitchen getting something to drink out of the refrigerator. And I heard something that sounded like a bowling ball hit the floor. So I ran into the kitchen and she was just laying on the floor. I didn't know what it was. So I took her straight to the doctor and that's when they diagnosed her with POTS. Okay. And they gave her some medication? Well, they gave her some salt tabs. It's not really medication. Just increase your salt and wear some compression socks. So they didn't give her anything else but salt tabs. Yeah, that's right. So was she taking that medication consistently since 2017? Oh, darn. I wish he had said, so she's been taking salt tabs consistently. It's not, he just made fun of it. He just made it clear it wasn't medication. Well, as needed. So Mackenzie was living with Dominic last July. And yes. And she'd been living there for approximately 6 months. Yeah, approximately. Okay. And she was 17 at the time? So it's my understanding that you were completely okay with your daughter living with a 20-year-old male in his own house? Well, that happened gradually over time. That wasn't my question, lady. My question was, you were okay with your 17-year-old living with a 20-year-old? I was okay. Oh, interruption? Correct? Yes. So you gave your blessing to her living there? Yeah, I did. Okay. During that 6-month period of time, did you ensure she was taking her salt tabs for the POTS? Oh, her prescribed medication, the salt tabs for the POTS? Well, oh no. It's not prescribed. You just need them, you just take them as needed. So if you don't have the salt tabs, you can just add something like a little salty chip or a cracker, something like that. Okay. And you don't need to have salt tabs specifically. You have to increase your salt intake when you feel like your salt's low. Okay, the incident that you just described where she hit the floor back in 2017, have there been several incidents since then? Oh, there have been incidences where she could feel herself getting low, so she'll sit down or just sit down. Or if you feel a little woozy, you sit or you take a minute to eat some crackers. Yes. Okay, and you helped Mackenzie get her driver's permit when she was still a teenager, is that correct? Uh-huh. And you signed off on that. Oh, yeah, I did. You didn't notice that? Oh, God. Okay, so you've done that several times. You went with her to the BMV and signed off on her driver's license. Is that correct? Yeah, I did twice. Okay, so 2 times. Those 2 times were after that first POTS incident. Is that correct? Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. But you were aware that those POTS incidents, but you still went to the DMV and said, give my daughter a driver's license. Yeah, yes, I did. Yeah. Okay, and you signed off on her operating a car on the highway. Yes, I did. And that's correct. Yes. Knowing that she had this issue, it's not required to disclose it on a driver's permit. They didn't tell me that I had to do it. I know people that have POTS and they don't have to do it on theirs. I didn't know. If it was required, I would have absolutely put it on there, but nobody ever told me that I had to, or I definitely would have. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I understand. I'll give you that. As a mom, this thing is very serious to you, correct? Oh, it can be. So you would send your daughter out behind the wheel of a car, knowing that she had this? Well, my sister also has POTS. Oh, she does, huh? Ding, ding, ding. Where did the idea come from? Wait, wasn't her sister just on the stand? That must have been someone else because they could have that. Okay. No, lady, that wasn't my question. Yeah. Oh, she drives really well. Wait, she's a nurse. He's not asking about the freaking sister. So wait. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt that she might just be a little confused, but I don't know if she's confused because she's like, my sister also has POTS, and Tim Troop's like, yeah, that's not my question. And Natalie says she drives really successfully. She's a nurse. And he's like, this is your daughter? Like, no, Mackenzie's been in juvie since last year, and she barely graduated high school. So he's like, wait, this is your daughter? And she's like, I wish you would be like, oh, when did you get her nursing license? That's news. God, Natalie. So this is your daughter. And you're giving her your blessing to her for years to operate a car? Is that correct? Oh, yeah, yes, definitely. Okay, and you never told her not to drive the car because of this POTS diagnosis? Oh, she has been able to manage it so well. There have been instances where stuff does happen and where she has to sit down and relax. I don't mean to interrupt you, but that was not my question. No, I'm sorry. Sorry. My question was, you gave her your blessing to do this. Yes, yeah, absolutely. And so you're here to tell us today, on the record, in an open court, you're here to tell us this was the reason that she crashed her car straight into the Politico building? Is that the bottom line? Oh, it certainly could be. Oh, wait, it could be? Oh, yeah, it could be. Okay, why don't we talk about that 2018 Toyota Camry? Where did Mackenzie get that car? I'm sorry, what do you mean? Where did she get it? At a... a car dealership. Okay, all right, who paid for the car? Oh, my husband and I. We paid for it. And so it was registered to you? Yep. And when did she get this car? Nancy Russo, the judge said, the court says, can you please speak up? Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know off the top of my head. Okay, I'll ask my question again. Who paid for the car? Oh, my husband and I. And how much did the car cost? Oh, about $20,000. Was Mackenzie employed at this time? Yeah, she was. So was Mackenzie paying her own insurance? No, she's on my insurance. Was she paying her insurance? No. Oh, okay. All right. So she's been driving for 4 years. Is that correct? 1. Oh, 1 year? Yeah. Okay. In that 1 year, you've gotten in the car with her, right? Oh, yeah, I have. Okay. How many times? Well, in the beginning, it was a lot because she was just learning how to drive. She was just so small. That was from the Chris Cuomo thing. But towards the end, oh, not very often at all. So this is after that POTS diagnosis. Yeah. Yeah. And you would still get into the car with her? Oh, yeah, you would. And you weren't concerned with this POTS that you thought something might happen to you, were you? No. When Mackenzie was in the hospital, it was you who told the doctor that she had POTS. Is that correct? She didn't tell the doctors I had POTS on July 31st and that caused a crash, did she? Oh, no. She was barely coherent. She was just in a car accident. She certainly couldn't speak for herself. Let me rephrase the question for you. She never actually told the doctors I had a POTS episode. Oh, she couldn't remember anything from the crash. Oh, I forgot. Okay, I would like you to answer the question just a yes or no. Oh, no, she didn't. She did not. No. Okay. So she did not tell the doctors. Well, I mean, I wasn't there. You didn't see them? So I want to ask her, how did the doctors find out? So you didn't see her tell the doctor? Oh, no. I was not there when they brought her in. Okay. You literally just said that you just said, and the other part of your testimony, besides the POTS, you said that you had never heard Mackenzie express unaliving thoughts. Oh, no, never. Wasn't there an incident in 2020 where the Strongsville Police Department and the fire department needed to come to your home? Okay, so you remember that. I do. And do you remember why they were there? Yeah, I do. Okay. They were there because there was a unaliving report in your home. Isn't that correct? Oh, no, that's not correct. Okay. Then let's talk about July 31st. We're going to start with July 30th. You know where Mackenzie went that evening? Yeah, I do. Okay, because you are always keeping close tabs on her. Yes, always. Number one mom. And she was in fine health that night, right? Oh, yeah. She hadn't had any sort of POTS episode for a long time. Oh, well, that's not true. Well, okay, I apologize. When was the last one? Well, I think it was maybe a week or two before that. She had shared with me that she just blacked out really, really bad. It was really, really bad. And it hadn't been that bad in a long time. She was just really scared it was going to get worse. I see. I understand. Yeah. So you just took her to the hospital? Told anyone? Well, no. I told her to eat some salt, to relax and increase your fluids. Exactly what they would have told us to do in that situation. Yeah. Okay. So you went ahead and took her car keys because no mother would ever want their own daughter in that driving a car in that situation, right? Oh, no, she wasn't driving. Oh my God. Sometimes I'm like surprised that Natalie is like not very smart, but I really am not sure if she's that smart. Like, he's asked her 3. Okay, anyway. Okay, so, oh, no, she wasn't driving, silly goose. She was relaxing until she came out of that situation. I didn't need. Okay, but she drove after that, right? Like, correct? Oh, I'm not sure. She was at home at Dom's. Okay, with a car that was registered to you. Yeah, right. That you bought for her. Yeah, yes. And you gave her your blessing to drive? Yeah, of course, yeah. All right, I'm going to number this State's Exhibit 225. May I approach the witness? Oh boy, we need to find. Oh, please hold. I have a feeling we're about to look at a police report. Strongsville. So I'm going to look for it. Strongsville Police 2022. We're going to look for the report so we can see it too, because I have questions. Okay. Wait, what was the year? Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. I just want to see what this year was. I thought, it was 2020, I think, because we're in technically 2022 right now. All right, so we're just going to find another exhibit over here in Con Air. We fly these friendly skies. Okay. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to read this report. I have all of them together in one little PDF for us. All right, what is this? Oh, this is menacing. Oh, okay, that's not Mackenzie though. That's a different recall. Okay, Strongsville, 2020. Oh, no, this is not her. Oh, shoot, I'm really hoping that I could find this. If I don't find it quickly, we'll get going, but I would really love to find it. Oh, this isn't the right folder. Okay. All right, thank you for flying, Con Air. Grab a drink. We are just looking for this police report. What is it? Oh, I think they call them CAD reports. All right. I put all the reports together, so I'm just going to scan them really quickly. I just want to find this one report because I have Molly's submitting it. All right, what would this be? What year? 2018, 2008. Oh, I put them in order. Okay. These are in chronological order. All right, let's see. What does this say? Okay, we found it. Ah! Thank you for coming and flying, Con Air. We just found the police report that is being introduced into evidence. All right, what does Tim Troop want to say? Okay, and so he says, I'm going to number this State's Exhibit 225. May I approach the witness, the court? Let me see. Have you seen this? Mr. McDonald. Oh, no, Mr. McDonald. State's Exhibit 225 is a Strongsville dispatch report indicating that they responded to the Shirilla residence. I'd like you to go ahead and take a look at this. Well, I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. I'd like you to read the address right here, this location. Can you see this? You dummy, why would you? Okay, well, this is perjury and it's a felony. So he's asking her to read the address. Oh, she doesn't have her glasses, but something tells me she can read this. Okay, well, can you see that? Yeah, I can, of course. Okay, what's the address? Blah, 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 Walnut Creek Drive. Is that your address? Yeah, it is. And that's in the city of Strongsville, Ohio. Yeah, it is. Okay. And what's the date on this document? The date on the document is March 23rd, 2020. You dummy. Thanks for picking up a felony on your way in, Natalie. She's lucky they didn't charge her, actually. Okay. All right. So let's why don't you just take us down to the narrative? Do you see that part where it says narrative? Narrative. Yes, I do. And what is the top line? It says, I just want to make sure she's actually going to wear. And what does that top line say? Okay, yep, she reads it. 15-year-old female threatened to unalive herself, requiring a psych eval, CBA. And what was that top line? She reads, 15-year-old female threatened to unalive herself, requesting a psych eval, CBA. So now that we, do you remember that incident now? Oh, I don't know if it was, no, not at all. I do. Wait, I don't know if it was not all that. Okay, so now Natalie's either going to play dumb or she's like literally, her box of marbles is, anyway. I do remember the incident. Okay. Tim Troops. So they did come out there to respond to a 15-year-old threatening to unalive herself, didn't they? Oh, no. Okay, here. I'd like you to read that if you could. The last two lines right there, please. Okay. Female will not be transported to the hospital. Parents do not think her threats are real. They do not believe she'll actually hurt herself. Okay. Interesting. And now Natalie's reading it. Female will not be transported to the hospital. Parents do not think her threats are real. They don't believe she'll hurt herself. No further questions, Your Honor. Redirect? Nothing. Oh, good. You're done. You're done. Thanks for picking up a felony on your way in, Natalie. She's lucky that they didn't charge her. Maybe when you have like a daughter getting life times 2. You're done.
You're done. You're done.
Are there any other witnesses? No, Your Honor. Any exhibits? No, Your Honor. Your Honor, I would move to have 225 admitted. 225 it is. This is the Strongsville report that I just showed. Is there an objection? Just say no. Nope. It's been admitted. And now a recess was taken. Okay. Oh, we're at the closing arguments already. Okay, cool. This is the court. This is Nancy Russo. Welcome. If you are just joining us, we are jumping into the closing arguments. Yay, we did it. Go Con Air. We made it to the closing arguments of the Mackenzie Shirilla trial that was not broadcast. And in a jailhouse or in a jail call, Mackenzie's mom, I think, says, good thing daddy pulled some strings so it wasn't televised. Thanks. So we just spent the last few days reading through them. And I am so excited you're here. Please give a shout out to our friends, the moderators. They are on the Conrad. Oh, who's Conrad? Con Air flight crew. That's Jamie, Debbie, Phil, and Bobby. All right, we are now going to head into the closing arguments of the Mackenzie Shirilla case. In her court hearing, our friend legal provided us with these documents, and I'd like you, fasten your seatbelt, get cozy, put your tray table. You can have it down, have a few drinks, enjoy the ride because I can't wait. This is actually something I'm excited for. All right. Oh, wait a second. I have a short clip of, I think it got copyrighted, but if it's not copyrighted, we have a short clip of Allison introducing her closing arguments, which would be kind of neat. I'm just going to look really close. Look really quickly. All right, let's see here. Oh, and I have okay, I'll tell you in a minute. All right, well, this is saying that it's not copyrighted. I think this is it. All right. Oh, this might be really cool. Hold on. Okay. Who you can see on your screen right now is Allison. She's a prosecutor, one of them, and she's giving the closing arguments. And I'm pretty sure this is the closing. It says it's 4 minutes long, so we're going to check it out.
May it please the court, the counsel. This video says it all. That after she turned onto this turn and she was driving the speed limit, Mackenzie Shirilla accelerated her speed. That car did not miraculously combust from 25 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour. She put her foot to that pedal and slowly pushed that gas until she reached the speed she wanted to go. No one but her did that. When you drive a motor vehicle 100 miles an hour into a brick wall, the logical result is death. And we ask that you find Mackenzie Shirilla guilty on every count. Thank you.
Whoa. Okay, well, that might be the fastest closing argument ever. All right, let's check it out. Good afternoon. This is Alice, Miss Kopach. Good afternoon. May it please the court. Opposing counsel, my job here today in this case is to compare the facts as presented and the testimony given throughout the past several days and compare it to the law here in order to prove to the court that we have met our burden beyond a reasonable doubt. Counts 1 through 2 of the indictment, those are the big M, Ohio Revised Code section 2903.02a. What did we prove here? That Mackenzie Shirilla did purposefully cause the death of another. Purposefully. A person acts purposely when it is his specific intent to cause a certain result, or when the gist of the offense is a prohibition against conduct of a certain nature, regardless of what the offender intends to accomplish. Therefore, it is his specific intent to engage in a conduct of that nature. The elements of purpose may be presumed where the natural and the probable consequences of an act are to produce death. When an offender has a specific intent to unalive, whether or not the offender has a specific intent to kill is a fact-dependent inquiry. This can include reviewing the nature of the instrument used and the manner in which the wounds were inflicted. Your Honor, the state feels it has met its burden beyond a reasonable doubt to prove that the defendant purposely killed Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan on July 31st, 2022. This video says it all. And she plays, oh man, 802. 802 for the record, that's the one when it looked like from the video we just watched that it's the whole, there's like 40 seconds of surveillance. She starts on Pearl, turns on to Progress, cool, calm, and collected, and then she drives it straight into a brick wall. If I want to just give a trigger warning, why don't we watch that? Because this is, in my opinion, what the judge found the most important part of this case was this one video. So if it makes you squeamish, which it does make me squeamish, but please pause and fast forward and come back, because we're just going to watch what we've been doing it the whole time. What the court is watching. So we're just going to watch this really quickly. There should be sound in the next one. I hate that. Okay. All right. So Exhibit 802 has been played for the court. This video proves that on July 31st of 2020, just minutes before that car hit and crashed into a brick wall, Mackenzie Shirilla was controlled. She used her blinker. She knew exactly where she was driving that car. She notified the drivers behind her that she was turning onto Progress Drive. The court has been to that road. We have shown video surveillance. We have shown body cam and dash cam of what Progress Drive looks like. There is absolutely no way an individual can make it to the end of Progress Drive at the intersection of Alameda without appropriately and strongly holding onto the wheel, turning down the street, following all the curves and the dips that the street demands from that driver. Progress Drive was not a shortcut for Mackenzie Shirilla on July 31st of 2020. The state has shown that the Progress Drive was so far out of the way, driving from the host's house to their home on Lund Road. How do we know that this is not a common shortcut that Mackenzie Shirilla used? Because earlier in that day at 11:30 at night, she did not use Progress Drive. She drove completely in the opposite direction. She drove the fastest way from Lund Road to Paul's house. GPS also showed Mackenzie Shirilla knew what the street looked like. She knew where that stop sign was. Defense counsel has made a lot of arguments about the stop sign being 50 feet or 100 feet, not being able to see it between the trees and the leaves. And that doesn't count when somebody knows there's a stop sign there and they've been there before. Regardless of whether or not you can see that stop sign at 50 feet or 100 feet, you can see a large building at the baseline of where you are going, and purposely. We had several experts testify that after she turned onto this turn, she was driving the speed limit. Mackenzie Shirilla escalated her speed. That car did not miraculously combust from 25 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour. She put her foot to the pedal and slowly pushed the gas until she reached the speed that she wanted to go. No one but her did that. Counts 3 and 4, Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.202b. No person shall cause the death of another as a proximate result of the offender committing or attempting to commit an offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree. Cause the death of another proximate result of committing or attempting to commit an offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree. That is like so poorly written. Specifically here, we are looking at the intent of felonious assault, like her mother standing on the stand in line getting called out. Proximate result. What is proximate result? Two things. One, the cause of the result. But for that conduct, the result would not have happened. And two, the result must have been foreseeable. Felonious assault in Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.11a. No person shall do either of the following. A1, knowingly cause serious physical harm to another. And A2, knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to another by means of a deadly weapon or a dangerous ordinance. In this case, to wit, a motor vehicle. And what is knowingly? A person acts knowingly when, regardless of their purpose, they are aware that their conduct will probably cause a certain result or will likely be of a certain nature. A person has knowledge of circumstances when a person is aware that such circumstances probably exist. It is not necessary that the accused be in a position to foresee the precise consequences of their conduct, only that the consequences foreseeable. In the sense that would actually transpire was natural and logical and was within the scope of the risk created by their conduct. Your Honor, the state would argue here all day that this is a logical result. When you drive a motor vehicle 100 miles an hour into a brick wall, the logical result is death. There is some case law we would also like to present as far as objection. May we approach? The court, sure. Come on down. All right, I need another drink. Thank you, Your Honor. Just briefly here. Oh, so he won that objection? She's not going to go into state law? Or we'll see. It's been established in Ohio that an automobile can be classified as a deadly weapon when used. Yeah, he won that objection. When used as a deadly weapon in a manner likely to produce death or great bodily harm. Counts 9 through 10, aggravated. Man, okay, so he might have won the battle, but he's losing the war because now she's just outlining all of the charges. Well, counts 9 and 10. Aggravated vehicular homicide, 2903.06a 2a. Did while operating or participating in the operation of a motor vehicle cause the death of another. recklessly acting with heedless indifference to the consequences, heedlessly lapse of care, or similar act of thought. The state believes that we have well surpassed that, and that is not even an issue here. Count 11, drug possession. No person shall knowingly obtain, possess, or use a controlled substance. Here we're specifically talking about psilocybin. The EMS worker testified that there were shrooms found on the body, on Mackenzie Shirilla's body. Possessing criminal tools. Did possess or have under the person's control a substance, device, or an instrument. Here we're talking about the digital scale that was also found on her person, testified to by Captain Stanislaw. The other things for the court to consider, the defendant's own statements. Statements made and testified to by the defendant to the detective while at the hospital. The defendant looked at the detective and said, can't you just take my whole license for like 10 years or something? The state argues that shows intent and consciousness of guilt. Statements from the defendant to Christine Russo were testified to. Christine Russo testified that she asked the defendant, why didn't you call for a ride? And her response was, because we weren't effed up. Statement by the defendant's medical professionals at Metro Health. She expressed feelings of grief, guilt, and shame and stated it was her own fault for killing her boyfriend. Additional self-serving statements to both Christine Russo and medical staff at Metro. I can't remember turning onto the street, and then I remember turning onto the street, and then my vision faded to black. Additionally, these attestations and affirmations by the defendant multiple times that she does not have a condition that results in any impairment of consciousness or loss of motor control, and that she does not have a physical or a mental condition that can prevent her from exercising reasonable and ordinary care of a motor vehicle. Things to consider within the medical records and the toxicology. Per the certified medical records at Metro and the other fire departments, her vitals were stable. She was responsive in answering questions. We would like the court to recall the body cam briefly played from Captain Brett Stanislaw through his testimony where the defendant was on the stretcher and they were asking her questions. Who are you with in the car? Where does Dominic live? And she responded with me. They asked her address at one point. She was communicating actively with these individuals just seconds after being taken out of that car. Her injuries were consistent with sustaining trauma from a severe motor crash into a building, but there are no other apparent or visible signs of any other medical emergency. Any medical history given to the staff at Metro Health was provided to the hospital by either the defendant or her mother. Dr. Singh testified that not at any point in time during the defendant's stay at Metro Health Hospital was she treated or diagnosed with an emergent neurological disorder, pulmonary disorder, cardiac disorder while at Metro Health Hospital. Furthermore, she was never even referred to follow-up with any of those specialists. This is not contested. Lastly, per the toxicology results, Mackenzie Shirilla tested positive for only THC. There were no other drugs or alcohol in her system. The vehicle analysis. I want to recall some of the facts in the testimony testified by some of our experts for the court. The testimony of Mark Sargent with regards to describing the accelerator on the vehicle after he reviewed it. There was no binding, no sticking, nothing to indicate that there was an unwanted acceleration. That's important. Unwanted acceleration. That acceleration was produced by the vehicle. That acceleration that was produced by the vehicle was wanted. It was desired and it had a purpose. The brakes. There was no leak in the brakes, no overheating, no signs of sudden loss or brake control. The brakes were completely capable of functioning normally. In his final opinion, he stated that there was no indication that there was a mechanical or electrical failure that would have caused the loss of control, braking, or the ability to steer the vehicle. Brief testimony from Sergeant Adam McQuaid. The data from the EDR report shows the accelerator pedal was pressed to 100% at least 4.75 seconds prior to the hard steering event that triggered the EDR to wake up. It is possible that the accelerator was pressed before the negative 4.75 mark, but the EDR only records back to a certain point. Based on the overlap of the EDR from that triggering section at trigger 5, it can be determined that the pedal was depressed to 100% for at least 5.8 seconds prior to impact with the wall. The court saw this diagram pictured in that report. Hold on. She's showing the court the prosecution's slideshow. Okay, I'm just pulling up the slideshow and I'm looking for what she is explaining. I guess we could go through it together. Wait, I don't know why here, I'm just going to pull up another one. That one has some weird breaks in it. There we go. Okay, this is the presentation that is in the courtroom right now. Okay, wait. What did Allison just say? The court saw this diagram pictured in that report. Okay, the accelerator pedal. Okay. Oh, here we are. Oops. Oh, nope. I thought that was the diagram. Man, this would be so embarrassing. I think that, oh wait, what's this one? Oh, nope, no, I don't see. Of all the like what, this is like, all right, what's this? Oh, golly, she's screwed. All right, I don't see what she's talking about. Okay, we'll go back to court for a second. Well, we know what that looks like. I'm surprised, though, that it's not in this. Let's see what's in the grand jury. Okay. Thank you for your patience in filing, Con Air. We're so glad you're here. Okay. I feel it. I'm looking at the grand jury to see if, oh, yep. Okay, it's in the grand jury presentation. Okay, this is what she's showing the court right now. Oops. Okay. All right. We feel you, Allison. We're here. Okay. The court saw this diagram pictured in that report. It shows 100% acceleration. The service brake had never been applied. This is also something to consider, that the pedal was pushed down by Mackenzie Shirilla's foot, no one else's foot but hers. The vehicle analysis. Okay, we'll find that. Hopefully it'll just be the next one. Yep, okay. Mackenzie Shirilla did not apply the brakes and she was in control. Oh, this is, okay. What she's showing us now. Testimony by Trooper Rawson. His testimony with regards to speed. The maximum speed that the vehicle could proceed. Okay, wait. The maximum vehicle that vehicle could hit was 129 miles per hour. This vehicle could go from 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds and 0 to 102 in 26 seconds. The accelerator pedal percentages are displayed at 100% application with the throttle. percentages peaking at 100. No driver input brake application was observed during any of these events. He stated that this offers evidence that the driver was demanding more power and more speed than the vehicle was capable of producing. The analysis yielded that the Toyota was traveling 97.2 miles per hour during the first segment near the Eurofins test oil closest to the wall. Okay. Oh, look at these guys. So profesh. And these are the quotes. If you're not watching or you're doing something else, I'm guessing that the slide that's on in the court right now is, here's what the expert said about the EDR. The vehicle was traveling with the accelerator pedal fully. Okay, wait. I was just thinking, I'll explain it in a second. The vehicle was traveling with the accelerator pedal fully engaged. At no point was the service brake applied. The pedal was depressed 100% for a minimum of 5.85 seconds prior to impact with the wall. This was spoken by Sergeant A. McQuaid of the Brooklyn PD. There was absolutely no braking for the vehicle. And there was a request for 100% acceleration with a full pedal pressure. Sergeant Fox. Okay. Now back to Allison. The analysis also showed that the Toyota experienced a range, and this is important for the court to consider, a range from 93 to 100 miles per hour. Okay. Ah, darn! I want to start Allison's closing statement now with these. Actually, let's do that. I'm sorry, guys. I want to do it with these. I feel like it's so much. Her closing is already really good. Well, let's see. We'll finish it and then we'll see where it takes us. Okay. The analysis also showed the Toyota experienced a range, and this is important for the court to consider, a range from 93 to 100 miles per hour. And what does that tell us? That tells us that she was accelerating. She was asking for the speed, and she was gaining that speed, and the car was producing that speed. Averaging the segments from the Lincoln Parma movers with the test oil video closest to the wall, the analysis yields an average approach speed of 97.42 miles per hour for the Toyota to hit the crash, I think she means the wall, but whatever, to hit the wall. Your Honor, there's something else that's important with this photograph that we would like to express to the court. Okay, I think we're moving on to the next photograph. Oh, she must have just gone over these. If you're not watching, what we're showing, or this is the prosecution's presentation that it was labeled grand jury, but I think this is the one that's on the prosecutors are showing right now. It says crash reconstruction by Trooper Rawson. The speed in front of Parma movers while navigating a curve is 98.1 miles per hour. The location of Parma movers is 20036 Progress Drive. It's approximately 0.2 miles from the crash scene. And we have an overview of the Google map of the road itself and where the cameras are located on the building following her down the road. Okay, the next one. Oh, now they're going to show, it looks like maybe they're showing the video again. Oh, okay. So this is showing the right turn, but let's see where Allison is before we keep going. All right. So I think they're back up here. Right here. Oh, she's saying that this is 98 miles per hour at this curve. Okay. Your Honor, there's something else that's important with this photograph that we would like to express to the court. In this photograph, you can see, regardless of any type of trigger motions or TRGs, you can see, well, anyone can see, this vehicle is beginning to veer towards the building. This vehicle is starting to turn towards the right. And the state argues that that is important. That goes to intent, and that goes to purpose. That goes to what you want to accomplish. The state of Ohio believes today, based off all the testimony and all the evidence we have presented to the court, that we've met our burden of proof for every element of every count of that indictment. We ask that you find Mackenzie Shirilla guilty on every count. Oh, that was really good. That was really, really good. Oh, that was really good. Nice job, Allison. I want to find what I'm guessing Tim Troop's going after we do some victim blaming, which I don't really have time for, and I lost. And so I don't really want, I know he victim blames Dom for most of this. He blames Dom and Davian for most of it. I just want to see. I know we have the video. Oh, here it is. So let's get started. I'm not into victim shaming or blaming at all. I know that I just don't really care. Like, I don't really want to watch it. So, all right, let's see where it goes. And then we might, I mean, if you'd like to read it on your own, please grab the FOIA drop or make friends with Legally. But I don't think we're going to go through it all. We can start it, but I just literally don't have any interest in listening to him blame Dominic or Davion for this. All right, I'm going to get a drink. Grab a drink. Where are you guys from? Thank you so much to our mods and the Con Air flight crew. If you'd like to buy any Con Air swag, we have What the Fuck, we have Bet, we have, we'll look at it in a minute. Okay, this is going to be like, and maybe it's a trigger I have to work through myself, but if we get to any point where he starts victim blaming, we're going to skip it and go straight to Tim Troop showing Mackenzie being a little psychopath. Okay, and I know I have to look at her with kindness, and probably him too, but I just am like not into I don't know. All right, here we go. All right. Your Honor, may it please the court? Opposing counsel, I'd first like to address some things that were just raised in the state's opening. They said that Progress Road was not a cut-through. That's a direct contradiction to the testimony of Patrolman Robinson, who said it was typically used as a cut-through by everyone. That's my number one. That raises this question. Who is to say where they were going? There's been no evidence whatsoever of where this car was going. I'm just going to guess that they weren't trying to drive into a building. That's the narrator. The state made a guess, but we don't know that. It certainly hasn't been proven here. And first, they make it sound like my client was familiar with the street. But their own records show that she'd only been on that street one time before. And if you were going to run into that building, all you had to do was keep going straight on Progress right there by Alameda, and she could have hit it. Turning to the right, okay, was not an attempt to go into the building. It was an attempt to evade it. Okay. The prosecutors then talked about my defendant's statement as consciousness of guilt. I'm going to agree with them there. They mentioned it in my opening statement. Oh, I mentioned it in my opening statements. If someone causes an accident and they are wrong, then they feel terrible. The fact that she said basically, in some words, I am responsible or I did it. Well, what she's never really said is any of that. She's not saying she committed aggravated murder. Oh, golly, no. Those statements were those statements that were self-serving were true. Okay. Yeah, you are. Okay. Yeah, you're right. They say her self-serving statements are, I don't remember. Well, she was consistent through her testimony, she didn't testify. Okay. Through her testimony, whether through the text, the medical records, or what the officers testified to, that she didn't remember. The state's own witness, the doctor from Metro, said said it is typical of someone who's in an automobile accident that they wouldn't remember what's happening. And they can choose to call it self-serving. I just don't agree with that. Okay, let's talk about the best lawyers that I ever knew. Let's talk about one of the best lawyers I ever knew. What? Mr. Shagustny, the best lawyer that this guy ever knew. Okay. He would do a murder and then he would turn over photographs and say, okay, we can all agree on this. Now let's get all the sympathy, all the bias and the prejudice out of this and determine this case from the facts that have been presented. That photograph is horrific. That doesn't have anything to do with the ultimate decision of what you have come here with. We are really never going to know what happened in that car, much less prove it. Much less prove it by evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that she purposely drove that car purposely. It has to be established that at the time in question, there was present in the mind of Mackenzie a specific intent to cause the death of her boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and his friend, Davion Flanagan. And they have to prove that. I'm just reading ahead of this a little bit to make sure we're not victim blaming. Okay, so far so good. And I thought during the course of this trial, when they presented their 404B evidence, that they would be the evidence that they have as to the purpose, because Hench attributed his statement to my client. And I'm going to suggest that to you, the statement, okay, all right. So right now he's just going after Hench. Okay. And I'm going to suggest to you that the statement of Hench is not believable. As you're well aware, the jury instructions tell you that you can take someone's criminal record into account when determining their credibility. So we ask you to do that with him. More importantly, as it relates to Hench, he makes it sound as if he gets a call and 15 minutes later, he miraculously ends up on that highway. He magically ended up right there behind the person and he sees them pull off to the side. I would suggest to you the odds of that happening are about 1 in a million. 1 in a million for him to be able to time that. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever that he can magically find the car. Then, as it relates to the second 404B, that's the video. Oh, we did watch that video, right? That Dominic created of her trying to get into his house. Well, that video shows two young, immature people arguing over a phone, and ultimately the argument's over. I can't even fathom how somebody threatening to key a car equates with evidence they're going to try to unalive them. Well, it happened. What do we know about that day? Let me back up. The day before, nothing happened between the two of them. Well, that is not what Tyler said. Tyler said they were fighting. Where's Tyler? Tyler, come on down. We need you to just set the record straight. Oh, come on down. Oh, wait, maybe it isn't this. I think this is a short. And Tyler does say that they were fighting, and Bubba keeps changing his testimony. Okay, Tyler, I think this is it. This is a guess.
I remember one instance that, because I'm pretty sure Rosie drowned her dagger top, and this was after Kenzie crashed. She was saying something about she was basically making fun of Rosie going the speed limit, after she had crashed. And then I was talking to Bubba, and he was sitting there telling everyone, he was like, I was about to ask Davion to just stay the night with me. I don't know why I didn't. Stuff like that. And Bubba lived with it, or Davion lived with Bubba for Delicious Landon. And so it was just weird to me when he wouldn't tell people really what happened. And his stories were, at first he was against Kenzie, but the girl that he's dating, Rosie, is one of Kenzie's better friends. I wouldn't say best friend because I don't really know her friend group or nothing like that. But I know that Rosie was with her a lot in that Dom's house. So I feel like he stuck on Kenzie after the first day because his girlfriend told something like that. And then his stories just kind of started switching up. And then he started acting weird about it. I'm like, were they arguing when they left, bro? I was like, and then he was telling me at first that they were arguing when they left. Like, there was an argument or there was a dispute. But then the next day, he completely changed the story. He was just saying that Davion and Dom were asleep. And then they woke up and Kenzie didn't go to sleep at all. She was like drawing or something like that. She was just coloring in coloring books. And then they left the house. And then,
And he told you this?
that's what he told everybody.
So he told
They
everybody?
were all at, like, everyone was at the memorial for like a week straight or so. So like, that's kind of like, wait.
So then his tune changed?
Yeah, it definitely.
His story changed?
And I would always ask them, I'm like, bro, I'm like, I feel like you know more to this, look, kind of. I'm like, because you were there. Like, you, like, and then he pulled me to the side and he's like, I didn't really know who to trust and just like that. I didn't know who to tell because Kyle had asked him first, like, what really happened. And he lied to Kyle at first about something. I'm like, we need to go tell Kyle the truth. Like, that was Dom's best friend. I was like, Kyle deserves to know. I was like, whatever you told him, I'm like, you need to go to correct. And like, I guess he went and talked to Kyle. I don't really know necessarily if they talked about anything. So I just know that he was all over the place with his stories is what I know.
First story immediately after the crash was that there was an argument.
Yeah, I was being told that there was like things were a little weird when they left. And he also, like, I know Dom texted everyone that night that he loved them. He texted Kyle, I love you. He texted Angelo, I love you. And he also texted his dad, I love you, I'm pretty sure. And he also might have texted Blair, his other good friend, I love, which is just, you know, kind of out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Davion also texted his dad, I love you that night.
Okay. Thank you. Just wanted Tyler to set the record straight for us. All right. Okay, nothing happened between the two of them, between the two parties, Dominic Russo and Mackenzie. Everybody was getting along just fine. You heard defense witnesses tell you that for the last year. I need another drink. Welcome to Con Air. You heard the defense witnesses tell you for the last year, and especially the last 4 months, one woman saw them once or twice a week, and they always got along. Yeah, and we know from her text messages that she doesn't fight in public, and the video that they showed in court, she didn't want to get in a fight in front of other people. That she never saw them fight, and they talked about the future. And that's the same with her. Wait, the lady Allison never said anything about future plans. That was just the aunt. And that's the same with her aunt who came in here to talk about it. And why is that important? That's important because if you believe this young lady was going to kill these people, that meant she was trying to kill herself. And how could anyone do that? That's the reason we put the evidence on about no suicide, and they were getting along just fine. Okay, well, then bring up State's Exhibit 225 because that contradicts it. You remember the coroner's verdict talks about some suicide? Well, she had one instance of a police coming to the house, and the parents said, oh, no, she ain't suicidal. It's illogical to me that somebody would drive a car and want to kill the two people in the car, but somehow survive. That makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, ma'am. And when I made my Rule 29, we talked about the purpose, and I said they can't prove the purpose and that they have to do within 19 seconds. You asked me a question about that, and I would still suggest to you that I have seen no evidence whatsoever to suggest the formation of purpose, other than at some point after they made that corner. That is the only time. And you know, when you look at the case law, perhaps, or the purpose, you can't look into the mind of the defendant, but it can't be more than a split-second decision. They are certainly aware of, and Your Honor, you are certainly aware of that. And it will take all of this into account. Purpose, specific intent, and specific intent. You can't look into somebody's mind, But we have to look at all these factors, surrounding factors, in trying to determine that. What evidence is there that a specific intent to kill another at the speed here? That speeding is terrible. It should never be done. And I'm going to ask everybody in this courtroom who is 16, 17, 19, or 20, if they ever did something so dumb. I'm going to ask that they, oh my God. I'm going to ask if they ever drove too fast. I'm going to ask if they ever seen people on the highway driving 110 miles, 120 miles, and take our everyday life experiences that we're all allowed to take into account to determine whether or not the state of Ohio has proven beyond a reasonable doubt the highest burden of proof required anywhere. And if they have met that burden, then I'm going to ask you to juxtapose purpose with the definition of recklessly. I always like that one word here. A person acts recklessly when with heedless indifference. That's like, I don't, what? That's like, I don't give a you know what. I'm going to do this. I don't care nothing about nothing. I'm young, I'm stupid, and I'm going to speed. To me, that sounds like reckless. And as I said, we're not going to know whatever happened in that car. But from the experts, we do know a few certain facts. I won't go over them. The speed of that car, how long it was going that fast for. And I suggest to you that they can only, at best, it's only 19 to 20 seconds of speed, which is absolutely wrong and reckless. But speed is not murder. And that's what the evidence says. And then I could tell you all sorts of possibilities of what could have happened in that car. But let's just look at the evidence and science. I beg to differ. Nobody can compute the car was going fast. Okay, that doesn't even make any sense. Let's just, all right. And 400 feet or 400 feet or so before that building, the car went violently to the right, to avoid an accident, so that it wouldn't cause an accident. These are theories. These are just kids being kids and being stupid. Kids playing a little chicken, just a deadly form of chicken. How can you even say this with a straight face? Did Dominic grab the steering wheel? Yeah, we think he did. Did Davion climb? What? This is like, but I also think Davion did too. Could Davion Flanagan have climbed up there to the front to show them that photograph? Remember, there's a photograph of some cool picture right here in the mountains. You'll note the time that text was received. It was right before the crash. You notice in those lines of text that there's nothing about any erratic driving. We know. Hold on. Well, okay. Well, this we do know. Yep. We know that Davion Flanagan ended up right there in the passenger seat. We know Mackenzie and Dominic had their seatbelts on per the black box. And we know Mr. Flanagan ended up right up there in the front seat on top of Mr. Russo, consistent with someone, well, trying to show him a photograph. I wouldn't go that far. No, I don't agree. Trying to show them a photograph. We also know that the car was in neutral 2 times before the crash. Is that consistent with someone going from the back to the front? I don't know. But that's uncontroversial evidence right there. We do raise the possibility of POTS and the pulse ox being 82 at the scene, testified to by, I think, Mr. Canton. He talked about that. He did. And then we had the doc to talk about the effects of an 82. On cross-examination of this fine man, this fine detective, he talked about how they found 136 circumstances of distracted or reckless driving in my client's social media. And that's just terrible. That's the uncontroverted evidence, though. Those doctors from Metro, they talked about the possible seizures. We talked about the accelerator misapplication. And that's a term that we can go on a few different ways with. One of them is a brake and accelerator at the same time, and that would show up in the box. And what I'm talking about is you have a young lady wearing slippers here. which is pretty stupid. I agree. With a 2-inch gas pedal separated by 2 inches from the brake to the immediate left. And what's to say she didn't panic? Well, what's to say she didn't panic? I think she knew she was going a little too fast right there. She tried to get off, and she goes even harder on the gas. Well, I don't. There's absolutely zero evidence showing that. That's just one of the possibilities here. Anything is possible. And then we talked about those airbags and what happened when the airbags go off. The two experts, McQuaid and Sargent, those experts, as it relates to the black box, basically came to the very same conclusion that at about the same time as that first trigger event, that hard right, the one that the rollover, that the airbags deployed right there. They talked about it being in about 0.2 milliseconds, and the shock would come out instantaneously. And per her father, we're not just talking about a little pillow fight at a sorority. We know that these 3 airbags for sure were deployed: the steering wheel, the driver's side wheel, and the front driver's side rear. So my client absorbed the force of that 2.5 seconds right before the crash when the attempt was made to evade it. Those 3 people at the scene, Robinson, Glassy, and Stanislaw, all said my client was unresponsive. Don't you remember that, Your Honor? Stanislaw said that she told him she couldn't even remember the event. And the medical records show us that exists. Oh, and so do those texts. The other thing that we do know from those prosecutors and the detectives is at least 4 of their witnesses talked about either an instance or an instances of this very young lady being a reckless driver. What else? Who else talked about reckless? Well, Mark Sargent, he here testified at a prior hearing, and at this time that this was reckless driving. So, Judge, I think the state has failed to meet their burden of proof, except as it comes down to the counts of recklessness, the aggravated vehicular homicide, as well as the count of possession of criminal tools and possession of drugs. Thank you. Mr. Troop, may I please the court? Mr. McDonald just told you we weren't going to ever know what happened in that car. But let me just tell you a little bit about what did happen in that car, Judge. We know that Mackenzie Shirilla buckled herself into the driver's seat at 5:30 in the morning. Okay, leaving the fake slumber party at Paul's residence and drove through the city of Strongsville for more than 3 miles. She did not drive in the direction. Oh, wait, I'll get you guys that slideshow. I'm just finding you the slide that Tim Troop is talking about. Oh. Come on, Timmy. Well, we'll use Devon's thing. Okay. All right. Mackenzie Shirilla buckled herself into the driver's seat at 5:30 in the morning from Paul's house and drove through the city of Strongsville for more than 3 miles. She did not drive in the direction She didn't drive the direction in which she went to his house. It was 5:30 on a Sunday morning, and she arrived on Progress Drive intentionally, slowly, and deliberately, as if she was winding up when she drove from Pearl onto Progress. So now he's talking about, oh, sorry, where's all right, oh, here it is. This is what he's talking about right now when she makes this slow, deliberate turn. Okay, from Pearl to Progress. What else happened in that car? She was controlling the pedal from the beginning of her route at Paul's house all the way into the wall. She controlled that car the whole way. She wants the benefit of that 59 seconds. She wants us to forget about that part because she told Mrs. Russo that she forgot about that part. She wants us to think that she drove the length of Progress Drive. Okay. He shows us that. The length of Progress Drive. All right, you might have to just use your imaginations because the other slideshow is... Oh, right there. Okay. So Progress Drive is right there. Okay. She wants us to think that she drove the length of Progress Drive asleep at the wheel. She drove down that road. Oh, you drove down that road yourself, Your Honor. And that somehow the car magically steered itself straight into the wall. Her foot was on that pedal the entire way. Mr. McDonald brought up the issue of her trying to unalive herself. How could anybody do that? How could anybody do it? We don't have an explanation on how anyone can do that. Everybody isn't. Okay, wait. Anybody who has ever heard the. Hold on. I need a drink. Everybody. Oh, I can share. Everybody that's heard this evidence can't figure out how could anybody do it. How could she do that? Put a car into a wall at 100 miles an hour, and we don't have to prove that she wanted to unalive herself. But we do have to prove that she put that car into the wall, and the results were as foreseeable as if she drove that car off the Grand Canyon. We have dispelled reasonable doubt in this case. I stood in front of you on Monday morning, and I told you what this case was about, and we have backed up everything I told you we would do. We brought in every piece of evidence and then some. And Mr. McDonald wants to live in those last couple of seconds with his argument here. And the evidence from both people who analyzed the black box, 1.1 seconds and 1.6 seconds, I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 802 one last time because I think it's that important. Mr. McDonald asked everyone in the courtroom about their everyday life experiences. And I would like you, Your Honor, to consider your own life experiences. Think about the times that you have been driving when you are deliberating. How many times you have buried the gas pedal of a car into the floor and held it there? Never is my guess. Think about the red lining in your car and hold it there for an extended period of time. In those last few seconds before the car hit the wall, it didn't matter. All of the lefts and the rights and the steering inputs and the data from the Toyota system that were all laid on top of each other, whatever occurred in those last few seconds, I'd like to think that Davion and Dominic were sensing what she was doing. Objection! Sit down. And trying to do something about it. Overruled. There is as much evidence of that as anything else. It wouldn't have mattered about the stop sign. It doesn't matter. Trooper Rawson said that at 0.2 of a mile before the impact site, he testified the car was gaining speed. It was up to 97 miles per hour. In the very next segment, it's up to 98. She had already put into actions the ultimate result. She had already made up her mind, and she never went back. She rounded that curve at the Lincoln Parma building and dropped the hammer down and put it all the way into the wall. And that's why we're here. The black box evidence is the highlighted part of Sergeant McQuaid's report, the part that nobody can make sense of because it's 100 miles an hour, 100% acceleration straight into that wall. Not one attempt to touch the brake. And that's what this case is about. That's the important evidence that you can rely on. I think that the evidence is very clear, Your Honor, that this catastrophe took place at the conclusion of a rocky and tumultuous relationship, between the abuser, in my opinion, Mackenzie Shirilla and Dominic Rousseau. I don't want it to be I don't want it to be lost. Whatever happened, Judge, was because of that relationship, and that's why this took place. And what about Davion? Oh, this actually pissed Mackenzie off in one of her jail calls, and the mom too. This is tough. I want to say he wasn't just cargo, but what he's trying to say is Davion wasn't factored into her plan. He was just cargo in the back seat. She had no consideration at all. There was no reason to take Davion's life, whatever she had in it for Dominic. He was just along with his friend, and he got sucked into a toxic relationship and just got into the wrong seat on the wrong night. The videos that Christine Russo provided to Detective.
I'm Detective Jesus. I'm the one who's been investigating the crash. You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2.
Sure, Jan.
Oops, sorry. That was an accident. Detective Jesus of Dominic recording the defendant, a 17-year-old child standing outside his house. Those videos tell you everything you know about everything you need to know about the relationship. There's no doubt who's in charge. There's no doubt who's giving countdowns, who's damaging property, and who's issuing threats. And I would submit to you that those videos are more important because of their existence than what's said on them. What makes a 20-year-old man surreptitiously record his girlfriend, How bad had the relationship gotten that forced him to do that? And why was he leaving breadcrumbs for us? Why was he leaving that for you? Something happened, and you can infer that he did that because he had a reason to. Your Honor, the evidence in this case is clear. She drove that car into the wall, and she had the pedal down. She never, ever touched her brake. There is steering going on here, and Your Honor, we have given the type of evidence that you need to make your decision. We trust the court, and we will wait for your verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, and we ask you to find her guilty on all counts. Wait, okay. If you could please assemble all, okay, the court, this is Judge Russo. If you could please assemble all exhibits and both sides, check and make sure I only get what I'm supposed to get, I will render a verdict on Monday morning at 1. The court was adjourned. Okay, so during this weekend, we have a series of calls from Mackenzie, her and her mom, of course, talking about like, what is she going to wear? What is she going to do for the court? So what I'm thinking about right now is I have the sentencing hearing, and I just have to make sure it won't get tagged for, copyright. But I think that Judge Russo does a phenomenal job. So, hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Con Air. Thank you for flying these friendly skies with us. Please say hello to I'd like to say hello and a special shout out to everyone who's here and our mods, Jamie, Debbie, and Phil, and our friend Bobby. Bobby is our go-to. Okay. We could listen to a couple of her jail calls because right now she has 2 days to wait. I'm guessing this, or maybe, I don't know when. Oh, we probably heard what day this was. Maybe it was Thursday or Friday. I'm guessing Thursday or Friday. So the court is going to wait until Monday morning to adjourn. We could read the court. Yeah, let's actually keep going with the court documents. And then, oh, you guys, if anyone needs me, can you put all reds in the thing? I have my phone right here. If anything's going on, I can't hear, I can't see, then let me know. I love you all. Thank you all so much for being here. And please give all of our mods a shout out because they work hard and I love them. All right, we'll just keep going with court and then we'll watch the sentencing hearing. That'll be so satisfying. As long as it doesn't get copyright. All right, please, here we go. Whereupon court was adjourned until 1 p.m. on Monday, August 14th. Okay, grab a drink. What are you guys drinking? Where are you from? Thank you to everyone. I love you all very, very much. Okay, Monday afternoon, August 14th, the court. This is actually, before I start reading this, I just want to check and see if the video of the courtroom has a copyright ding or not, because if it doesn't, then I want to make sure I have it queued up, because we're going to go straight from her decision to the sentencing hearing. It is so badass. Okay. I named a video "Stop It, Natalie." Wonder what that's about. Oh, actually, here's all of the jail calls in between her this weekend that we're in right now. This one, she wants her Instagram back. Okay, let's watch this. These are jail calls in between the time of those closing arguments and the court's decision. I do want to see some of these because it's wild with the context of where she is in her life with the the trial. So the name of this is Isolated in Jail, Mackenzie Shirilla's Thoughts on Trial and Family Support. It's just wild to, I think this is done between the closing arguments and Monday when the judge is going to sentence, like, you know, come to her decision on if she's guilty or not. Okay. So I'm going to share this tab with you guys and make sure you can hear it. All right.
An incarcerated individual at...
Hold on. We don't need to max out our Cuyahoga County lady.
Hello, this is a collect call from an incarcerated individual at Cuyahoga County Correction Center. To pay for just this call using your credit, this call will cost 16 cents per minute, plus any applicable federal, state, and local taxes, plus a one-time transaction fee of $3, plus third-party pass-through fees of 50 cents. You will only be charged the per-minute rate for the amount of time you were on the phone. If you do not want to connect this call, but would like to fund an account to pay for future calls, please hang up and dial 800-844-6591. This call is not private. It will be recorded and...
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I should just open my door and let him come out. So I came to the phone. I don't know what time it is.
Oh. Okay, that's cool.
He's a Steve Jeffries, I need that. He's a diesel.
What?
He's a Steve Jeffries, I need that. He's a diesel.
Oh. Sorry.
Diesel, he's a crazy diesel. She's on me like he's on diesel. He's like crazy diesel. He's like he's
Cacao, what?
She gets to like scream. She's like, ah! Like every night. She just like screams like all night. Like, and then she gets to like laughing, thinking it's like funny. She's like, I don't know. She's crazy as fuck. Like I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about. Like, I don't like her. She needs to get the fuck off this pod. Like,
I don't like that either. I don't like crazy. What time did you go to bed?
like 7 probably.
How'd you sleep? Did you sleep okay? What are you sleeping on?
I sleep on a soft mat.
Oh, is it better than the other one?
She's like eating cheesy. She's all free like either. Is that easy?
Is your bed softer than the other one?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
good.
A soft mat same, but I like this soft mat better than my other soft mat.
Okay. What's that high-pitched noise?
What high pitched noise?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I heard something.
It's literally only 7 a.m. What's the fuck?
So what you said you can come out, like what do you get to do?
Come out. I don't know what I can do when I can come out, but I'm the only one out again.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. I just didn't know what your options were. Like when she says come out, what do you get to go out in?
Out of my room in the middle of this pod.
What's in the middle?
I told you already, there's like different benches.
Oh, no, you didn't tell me. You said look it up or something.
It looks just like that. The picture I want.
And there's like nothing to do though? There's just benches?
There's only the benches. I just sit and I can watch TV.
Oh. Well, at least there's a TV in there. And it's just you? Oh, that's right. You have to be by yourself for 7 days. How was your book?
Cool. I mean, she gave me 3 books. I have the alcohol anonymous book. I have what else do I have? I have this one book about a girl being a Broadway actor, and I have this book. It's like Oh, it's like a religious book, but it's like towards people in jail.
Is it like the big Alcoholics Anonymous? Is it the big book?
Right?
Is that what it's called? The big book?
No.
Does it say that?
No. No.
Maybe that's just what they call it.
Yeah. Oh, you know, if I could go back to sleep or what?
How do you get ready? Where do you get dressed?
I don't get ready. Oh, I go, they told me in staff court and I get dressed and look at myself.
Oh, okay. Do you have a mirror you can look at or anything?
No.
Okay. Mm.
But I like yeah, but I also go out to strip search again.
Jeez.
So I've been strip searched twice. And yeah, when I got off the phone last night, I was like, "Can I get mental health?" And she was like, "What are you doing here? You're so young." And I was like, I just kind of told her a little bit. She's like, "Oh my God, so I'm gonna get you like tomorrow."
Oh, wait, who for mental health?
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's no mental health here tonight, so we can figure it out in the morning.
Oh.
He's on me, he's a needle eating his visa. He's like, she's a visa, and this visa's crazy easy. He's like, you know.
Yeah. No. I wouldn't either. Did they do breakfast yet?
Yeah, it's in my room. I'm not eating
What is it?
I'm looking at it yet.
Oh, okay.
She told me
Wait, you haven't seen it yet?
No. She told me I had to come out, and I got straight on the phone.
How far away is your room?
She's not eating. She's out for that. Be like, she's on. Please, like, need to be either.
Oh my gosh. So you have people out in the middle with you?
No.
Oh.
Even he's a reason.
Oh. You said right by me.
Yeah.
Sure.
The reason, because these I need.
Oh God.
Either
how far away is your room?
He was like, "Sees where sees it."
I want to know what your breakfast is.
I'm gonna go look real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
She's a teaser key that he got me that reason. She's always ID that me that.
Did she take it out of your room?
Yeah, she's on me to eat like keys and tea that me like pizza be the bag. We have me like sneeze that even if she's always ID the tea that we got me like she's in the fever.
Okay.
What time was court today?
10.
What time did we start yesterday?
Oh, you were right. I was laughing. I go, oh my God, we are going to probably start around 11. It was later.
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
This 7-day hold and shit annoying as fuck.
Say it again?
This 7-day hold and shit annoying as fuck. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I came from another facility. I felt like I'm being held for 7 days.
Everybody just has their own. It's just the way it is. You know, they don't want. What if there's like heebie-jeebies over there? They don't want them down over here. You know? I don't know.
It's early as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, true.
But this might be our only call, so I don't know. Hopefully I can take it. Say it again?
This might be our only call, so I don't know. I want to make sure I can get.
Yeah, me too. No, that's, so I might not be able to talk much anyway. Well, she could call me again. I have to start getting ready at, probably 8. I have to leave here at 8:30.
Why?
I have to start getting ready at, because I like to give myself an hour to get downtown for traffic and stuff.
So you're here at like 9:30?
Yeah, if it starts at 10, I'd like to be there, yeah, just in case, yeah. Half an hour early. And then, so I start getting ready at about 8. And you know what? I'm going to make some coffee. Ooh. So she took your breakfast away? Are you going to get it back?
No, it's gone now.
Wait, just because you weren't what?
He's just easier. He's like, he's out in either.
Well, wait, she told you to come out though.
I know.
So you're just waiting on breakfast?
I wasn't going to eat it in the first place.
Well, now you know, just maybe chill until you eat breakfast. Go out just in case it's good.
It was already gone when I got up. Like, I seen it when it was put in there, and then I fell back to sleep, and then it was gone when she told me I could come out.
Oh, I see.
So like I said, I don't really give a fuck. I wasn't going to eat it anyways.
Right. Okay. Whew.
Yeah, this shit just sucks so bad.
We're just going to fast forward till they start gossiping about Faith. Faith is her friend. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. We are right in the middle of the Mackenzie Shirilla trial. The defense attorney and the prosecutors just did their closing statements. She's been accused of driving her car into a brick wall going 100 miles an hour. This is a jail call in between the conviction and the closing statements. Her friend Faith has been literally a ride or die best friend. She went to the jail and she was trying to find her window. She goes every day. She also made the bitch list. I mean, the burn book. She has like a burn book. And in about 1 minute, I'm just going to fast forward us to that. She's going to start talking some shit about Faith, which is like, she's definitely ride or die. And I love that in friends. There's a little bit of a place and a time though for that. And maybe Faith's heard these and she's like, all right, but I just fast forward it because her and her mom talking about how tired they are is like, not really what I want to hear right now. So we'll just listen to them gossip a little about Faith, see what's going on there. Then we're going to head back to trial. Then we're going to watch the sentencing hearing. I pulled it up for us. We'll just listen to 1 more minute of this, and then we're going to go back and read what the judge decided. Okay, she's still talking about bread, but I think this is right around where she's going to start talking about Faith.
Right on the floor, right? Is it wrapped?
It's like wrapped a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. And the other stuff's in packets, so who cares? Well, Kendra can't come today. Oh my gosh, Faith is out of control. So she wasn't going to come today. But she called me late to tell me she can because she quit her job.
What?
She quit her job. I was wait. I thought you were like happy because they got rid of the problem. And no, I think she's going back to Claire's.
I can't understand anything you're saying, so I don't know like what is happening.
Oh, see, that's why I'm asking you. Sometimes when I put my phone like that, people can't hear me. So She's going back to Claire's.
I thought she already worked at Claire's. Where did she work at?
No, she quit there and went to Charlotte Russe. So that's the one she's like leaving. And I think she's going back to Claire's. It's okay. Just wasn't a fit. You'll figure it out. Just go keep finding stuff in life that makes you happy. So she's gonna come here. So we're gonna drive together.
I don't know what my friends
Oh, wait.
think about it.
I don't know. Do you know it?
That was Baby Bear said. Oh, is that Baby Bear? No, that's good.
Yeah. The bark, or whatever it is. The squawk.
All right. That's enough. Now let's go back to court and read what the judge thinks about this stuff. Okay. Monday afternoon session, August 14th, 2023. The court. The state of Ohio versus Mackenzie Shirilla. I'm prepared to give my verdict, but the defense has mentioned that he neglected to make, through error, a second Rule 29 motion. So I'm going to give him the opportunity to do that for the new Rule 29. I would like to renew my Rule 29 motion, and I would have cited the same arguments that I made prior to the closing argument of the original Rule 29, and whatever I said in my closing arguments. Mr. Troop, anything? Thank you, Your Honor. We would incorporate that the arguments we made at the first Rule 29, actually, as well as our closing arguments. This motion is denied. Thank you. Okay, this was played somewhere in court, and I don't know where, but I know that the prosecutors played this.
At 100 miles per hour. Prosecutors say she was not.
Darn, never mind. I thought that was going to be the song. It was like the You'll Die For Me song or whatever. Okay. The motion is denied. Thank you. The court proceedings were held in open court. This is the verdict. Okay. Welcome to Con Air, everyone. Well, the same rules still apply. Thank you for flying, Con Air. We know you have many options. Actually, you probably don't, because you're technically probably a prisoner and you get 2 water bottles. But we thank you for flying with us. All the spectators, the same rules as usual apply. First, turn your cell phones off. The media has their phones on, but they must be silenced. We're here today on the matter of the state of Ohio versus Mackenzie Shirilla, 679642. She is present in the court today with her counsel. The state is present as well. Before I render the verdict in this case, I want to thank the attorneys for their professionalism and advocacy in the case. I know it was a difficult case for everyone, including the attorneys and your staff. And I'd like to also thank our staff here at Con Air. Thank you to the mods, Debbie, Jamie, Phil, and Bobby. And if there's anyone interested in being a mod, drop your name. You have there, then just we'll see if you, yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, keep going. I'd also like to thank our court reporter, Lisa. I'd like to thank all the spectators. And I recognize that this trial has been very stressful for the families of the victims. I appreciate that despite that stress, you all worked with me to ensure a safe and respectful environment for everyone here. Although we are not a party to this case, I would also like to acknowledge the first responders. Oh, this is nice of her. To the site of this event. Their diligence and training did save Mackenzie's life, and they did try to save Dominic and Davion, even though it was too late. In a bench trial, the judge sits as the jury and the finder of fact, as well as the ruler of law. And it is a reminder of just how difficult a job is to serve as the finder of fact. Whether it is bench trial or a jury trial, the rules of the law are the same. The instructions for weighing the credibility of the evidence, the admonition to set aside bias and prejudice or sympathy, and the oath to follow the law as the law is written. These rules of law are incumbent upon every trier of the fact. I have done what I have been sworn to do. I have carefully and deliberately considered all of the evidence in this case, including the testimony of the witnesses, the science, the expert opinions offered by the medical evidence, the physical evidence, the photographs, and the video evidence. There is nothing that I can do or say today that will return these two young men to their families. There is nothing that I can say or do that will restore Mackenzie Shirilla to the life that she had before July 31st. And there is nothing that I can say or do to restore the lives of those three families before the fateful moments on that day. This trial is accumulation of decisions made by one person, the defendant. Those decisions have forever altered the futures of three families, and of you also, Mackenzie, and your decisions forever robbed Dominic and Davian of the futures that they had before them. If there is one thing that can be taken away from this case, as painful as it is this. Every decision we make is important. Every action we make is also important. Regardless of whether the decision is a good one or a bad one, or the actions are good or not, the result is the same. The consequences ripple through time and affect many more people than one might think at the time of the decision. In criminal cases, the state carries the greatest burden under our law, proof beyond a reasonable doubt. And as I previously stated, I considered all of the evidence presented. And at this point, I would like to comment specifically on Exhibit 802, the crash video. This is the type of evidence that you can never unsee. You can never forget the visual or the audio of this exhibit. It is chilling and tragic. And as you review that exhibit, you know that you are watching the oncoming deaths of two people, and there is nothing that can stop it. The video clearly shows the purpose and the intent of the defendant. She chose a course of death and destruction that day. Exhibit 802 crystallizes the deadly decision-making of the defendant. I think we have this in the sentence. Is this the sentencing hearing too? Because we have this. She morphs from a responsible driver into literal hell on wheels as she makes her way down that street. Mackenzie alone made the decision to drive that car, to drive an obscure route, a route she visited many days before, and a route not routinely taken by her. Hold on, we have this. I think, all right, I think we have this. I think this is it.
Counsel, we have previously discussed and agreed to the following: that the only counts for which the court will sentence today as a matter of law are counts 1 and 2, each of which is murder in violation of Ohio Revised Code section 2903.02a, count 1 being the murder of Dominic Russo, count 2 being the murder of Davion Flanagan. Each of these counts are statutory sentences. Each is 15 years to life with parole eligibility after the base term is served, and with parole strictly within the discretion and jurisdiction of the Ohio Parole Board. Each of these counts stands separate and apart from each other, and they can be run either concurrently or consecutively. That is the only discretion permitted to the court in the sentencing today. It is my understanding that we are also in agreement of the following mergers. As to the guilty verdicts against the defendant related to the victim, Dominic Russo, the counts 3, 5, 6, and 9 merge into count 1. As to the guilty verdicts against the defendant related to the victim, Davion Flanagan, the counts 4, 7, 8, and 10 are merged into count 2. That the Reagan-Tokes enhancement and post-release control are not applicable to either count 1 or 2. Is that a correct statement?
That's accurate, Your Honor.
Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. I do wish to proceed on counts 11 and 12. It's my understanding on these two felonies of the 5th degree that both sides are waiving any argument. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
And is she waiving any statement on count?
Hold on, I just want to check and see if this is the same video. What number were we on? We were at 149. Okay. Oh yeah, they are the same. Okay.
Counts 11 and 12, each of which is a felony of the 5th degree, to 7 months in prison on each count, to be served concurrent to each other with credit for time served. Fines and costs are waived. As to the driver's license suspension for counts 9 and 10, the aggravated vehicular homicides, her driver's license is suspended for life. I'm now prepared to hear from anybody who would like to speak on behalf of the state.
Okay, hold on. I just want to see if we have the one video where the judge talks about. Okay. Darn. I loved that. I bet it got, oh wait. I bet it got claimed. Let me just, I might have just found it. It says, this is a video titled Judge. All right. Okay. Oh, this might be it. Thank you for flying, Con Air. It's where you get to practice extra patience. This is, I think this might be it.
And for the purposeful and intentional murders of Davion Flanagan and Dominic Rousseau. And in a way, it's the second time their families are gathered again to grieve. It's also a day when Mackenzie's family will grieve for the future of their daughter. All three of these families and the friends of these families are suffering, and all of their lives have been irrevocably changed because of the actions of the defendant. The unintended and collateral consequences of a selfish, intentional, and cruel decision by Mackenzie will ripple forever in time. It's literally changed history because it's ended 2 lives. 2 young men are dead. Their deaths were horrible, terrifying, and tragic. I will say again, if any reasonable person reviews Exhibit 802, there can be no doubt in your mind what happened this night. There can be no doubt of the absolute terror of the 2 people in that car. The defendant controlled all the events. She chose the day. Specifically, she chose a day just before her 18th birthday. She chose to drive the car, the time to drive the car. She chose an obscure, previously scouted route through an industrial parkway. She chose the target to hit and the victims. She chose the means and the method to follow through. And she planned and purposefully executed the events of July 31st, 2022. The review of the evidence supports the factual findings, the forensic testimony, the testimony of the first responders, the testimony of the emergency room doctors who treated the defendant, the testimony of the coroner's medical examiner, the testimony of those who knew the victims and the defendant, and the testimony of the BMV official who provided evidence that not only did the defendant deny any medical condition when applying for her license, which her mother co-signed and attested to, but also that just after the accident, Mackenzie renewed her driver's license and again denied any medical condition. In fact, the defendant was so concerned.
Okay, I found it. All right. This is the whole closing with the video.
So let's go over just some general rules before we get started. All phones are to be turned off. Members of the media may have their phones on, but it must be turned to silent. There will be no in and out of the courtroom. Once the proceedings begin, if you do leave, you will not be permitted. Today is an emotional and a stressful day for 3 families and for the defendant and for those who care for Davion, Dominic, and Mackenzie. I expect everyone here to be respectful of everyone who's in the room. And if there is any disruptive behavior, I will pause the proceedings and the deputies will escort you out. The court's process will be as follows. I will hear first from the state and the representatives of any of the victims. The court will then hear from the defense and any representatives who wish to speak. The defendant has a constitutional right not to speak. She has exercised that right not to speak at trial, and that right continues throughout this proceeding. She will be afforded the opportunity to speak if she wishes, but that's her choice. Following that portion, the court will deliver the sentence. I also want to advise the defendant that she has a right to an appeal and a transcript at state's expense, and we will assign counsel to represent you. Counsel, we have previously discussed and agreed to the following: that the only counts for which the court will sentence today as a matter of law are counts 1 and 2, each of which is murder in violation of Ohio Revised Code section 2903.02a, count 1 being the murder of Dominic Russo, count 2 being the murder of Davion Flanagan. Each of these counts are statutory sentences. Each is 15 years to life with parole eligibility after the base term is served, and with parole strictly within the discretion and jurisdiction of the Ohio Parole Board. Each of these counts stands separate and apart from each other, and they can be run either concurrently or consecutively. That is the only discretion permitted to the court in the sentencing today. It is my understanding that we are also in agreement of the following.
All right, we're going to finish court and then we're going to get to the sentencing. I couldn't find the right one. Okay, Mackenzie alone chose the time to make the drive early in the morning when any reasonable person would expect that few would be nearby to witness it or offer life-saving assistance. She made those decisions despite knowing, as any would, that her mission of death could have involved others, not even in the car with her, other people, other cars, or pedestrians. She had a mission and she executed it with precision. The mission is death. Mackenzie alone decided to push the pedal to the floor and demand the ultimate speed from 90 to 100 miles per hour. She alone decided what was to be. Mackenzie decided death was the ultimate goal, and she alone made that decision for Dominic and Davion and continued to act. Whether or not she intended to also kill herself is a matter of speculation. There's no relevance to the weighing of the evidence in this case. The totality of the evidence clearly demonstrates that Mackenzie Shirilla acted purposefully and intentionally in the early morning hours of July 31st, 2022, and her purpose was to kill Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan. No reasonable fact finder could view the totality of this evidence in the case and come to any other conclusion. Her actions were controlled, methodical, deliberate, intentional, and purposeful. This was not reckless driving. This was murder. The court renders the following verdicts. Count 1, the court having count 1 tried to pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Dominic Russo, in violation of 2903.02a, as charged in count 1. Count 2, the court having had count 2 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Davion Flanagan, in violation of Ohio Revised Code section 2903.02a, as charged in count 2 of this indictment. Count 3, murder. The court having had count 3 tried pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code section 2903.02b, as charged in count 3. Count 4, murder. The court having had count 4 tried pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code section 2903.02, as charged in count 4. Count 5, felonious assault. The court having had count 5 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of felonious assault, to wit Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code section 2903.11, as charged in count 5 of this indictment. Count 6, felonious assault. The court having had count 6 tried to its pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of felonious assault, to wit Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code 2903.11a2, as charged in count 6. Count 7, felonious assault. The court having had count 7 tried it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of felonious assault, to wit, Davion Flanagan, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.11A1 as charged in count 7. Count 8, felonious assault. The court, having had count 8 tried to pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of felonious assault, to wit, Davion Flanagan, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.11A2 as charged in count 8. Count 9, aggravated vehicular homicide. The court, having had count 9 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of aggravated vehicular homicide, to wit, Dominic Russo, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.06 A2A as charged in count 9. Count 10, aggravated vehicular homicide. The court, having had count 10 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of aggravated vehicular homicide, to wit, Davion Flanagan, in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.06 A2A as charged in count 10. Count 11, drug possession. The court, having had count 11 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of drug possession in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2925.11A as charged in count 11. Count 12, possessing criminal tools. The court, having had count 12 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of possessing criminal tools in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2923.24A as charged in count 12. The court, having had count 12 tried to it pursuant to waiver, finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of possessing criminal tools, and further finds the defendant did intend to use the substance, device, instrument, or article, to wit, digital scale, to commit the offense of a felony. The sentencing will be 1 week from today, on August 21st at 1 p.m. If any party wishes to file a sentencing memoranda, it is to be filed by 4 p.m. on Thursday, August 17th. Thank you. The proceedings concluded. Okay, now we can get to the sentencing.
It's 11 and 12.
As to those two counts, yes.
All right. The defendant is sentenced in counts 11 and 12, each of which is a felony of the 5th degree, to 7 months in prison on each count, to be served concurrent to each other with credit for time served. Fines and costs are waived. As to the driver's license suspension for counts 9 and 10, the aggravated vehicular homicides for driver's license is suspended for life. I'm now prepared to hear from anybody who would like to speak on behalf of the state. Good morning. Could you start with your name and speak up and speak slowly?
Yes. Your Honor, my name is Jamie Flanagan. I am the mother of the victim, Davion Flanagan. I want to share a small part of what we lost on 7/31/2022. My son, Davion, is and always will be so much more than cargo. He was precious. He was an amazing soul with a heart of gold. He gave to the world what he wanted most in his own life: love. The kind of love that would rescue a friend in the middle of the night, no questions asked. The kind that would protect others and honor them. He made friends easily with his infectious smile. He was a gifted athlete. He had plans to go to barber school and open his own shop. My son did not have a clique of friends, but instead was a friend to all. He would go out of his way to show love and kindness to others, including those that were often cast aside by society, the less fortunate, the developmentally challenged, the hurting, and the unvalued. Davion made sure that everyone that crossed his path knew that he truly saw them, that he valued them, and that they were worth his time. Davion and my kids have had more than their fair share of heartbreak, of hardship, and of loss. Davion was adopted with his sisters from foster care. They are biological siblings. We are honored to be chosen, or to have been chosen, to be their parents. They're forever family. I am devastated by the loss of Davion. The world lost a truly special man. My girls lost their best friend, their protector, the one and only trusted family that has been by their side from day one. This alone, or he alone, understands the pain and loss that they have gone through and was always there for them. This fact alone breaks my heart for my girls, for my family. So many dreams shattered, a future stolen. We will never get to see the amazing man that he was surely to become. His life was precious. Like I said, he was so much more than cargo. I pray daily for strength and perseverance for myself and for my family. I also pray that Mackenzie will find true remorse in her heart and true repentance. We thank all of those that worked so hard to help us bring justice for our son. We are forever thankful. Davion, we miss you terribly, but as Christians, we grieve with hope. We will make sure your memory lives on, and we ache for the day that we are united again in eternity. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. If you are just joining us, welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for flying Con Air with us. We're wrapping up the Mackenzie Shirilla trial, and you are on Con Air. And I'd like to thank the crowd. I'm getting tired, and it's only 9:15. The crew who's helping us fly the friendly skies. And so I'd like to thank Jamie, Debbie, Phil, Bobby, and everyone else that's here. Drop it in the comments where you're from, and I'll put it on the map. I'll show you guys the map and the swag once we're done with this. So this is about 40 minutes long. We are watching the sentencing hearing of Mackenzie Shirilla. I couldn't find the pink shirt because I know in a jail call, she tells her mom, there's no way I'm going to wear that pink shirt. And then the verdict, she wore the pink shirt. So thank you for joining us. I just wanted to jump in and say what you're watching if you're new or if you're just joining us. If you're on the replay crew, yay. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Love you guys. Now we will get back to the sentencing of Mackenzie Shirilla. And that's it. I love you guys. BRB. Okay, so this one thing I want to show you guys, you can see my mouse, right? This is Allison. She's the prosecutor. This, I'm guessing, is like a family support that the court gives them. And I'll just mute it for a second because it's loud when they're going in between, but it's fun to still watch the little gremlin. Oh, she's looking right at the camera. Oh, it doesn't work here. I was going to try to magnify it. All right. So the next person who's going to speak on behalf of the state. We should listen to some of her jail calls. She looks so meek. Oh, this is Davion's little sister, and I just love listening to this one.
Hello, could you start with your name?
Hi, Your Honor. My name is Divine Flanagan. Davion was my older brother. The passing of Davion Markel Flanagan has been very difficult for me. We have gone through everything together since day one. Davion was a big brother to me and my younger sister, Dalia. We all got adopted together in 2012. After Davion passed away, a lot of trauma and past pain has came into my life, causing it to be difficult to heal from this trauma event, or this traumatic event. Davion was not just a big brother to me, but a role model in many ways. He was the person I trusted the most because he made me feel safe. He taught me the importance of cherishing each moment and enjoying life. The memories we have are strong, but losing him has shown me the value of life. He has how God works in ways you can't understand, but is worth it in the end. I don't want this pain for anyone else. I don't want people to have to go through this. As an 18-year-old, I hate the fact that he has gone because someone decided to take his life. Now that Davion is gone, I feel stuck. I feel as if I can't move forward. I feel lost. He was the one who picked me up when I fell. He was my best friend and the only person that has stayed with me since I was born. I would like you to give Mackenzie the longest possible sentence. I've known her for about 3 years, and as she's always taken the easy way out. You should.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
She will be eligible for parole, while my brother will be gone forever. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And I would just like everyone to know what they're all wearing, like suits or a jacket or, you know, like, oh, here's Dominic's mom. Well, she'll explain it.
Maureen, can you start with your name?
I'm Christine Russo. I'm Dominic's mother. No one wanted this to be a murder or to punish Mackenzie Shirilla for this accident. But this was not a car accident. The evidence and science proved that Mackenzie Shirilla murdered my son, Dominic, as well as Davion. There's no fix put in this case, as the Shirillas would like to proclaim. I want to thank Strongsville Police Department and the state of Ohio for seeking the truth behind this crash. Thanks to them, we all know what happened in that car that day. What we don't know is why. I wish I could change this every day. I lost 3 children in that crash. Not a minute goes by each day that I don't think about my son, as well as Davion. My heart is forever broken. The cries heard from the Shirilla family and friends after the verdict are nothing more than a lack of remorse. Mackenzie Shirilla had a choice. Dom and Davion did not. We are all left here to mourn. But what Dominic and Davion lost can never be remedied in any way or by any particular sentence. On July 31st, 2022, I called Mackenzie's mother, hysterical at the loss of my son and Davion. I knew Mackenzie was in the hospital, and the first statement said to me was, "Oh, please don't listen to what everyone's saying on Facebook." Yeah, my son is dead, his friend is dead, and I'm checking on yours. Yet social media is what's important. Social media has made a game out of the life of Mackenzie and is making a game out of this heart-wrenching tragedy. No one can imagine the pain of losing a child unless they have lost one themselves. The pain is forevermore. Time does not heal this wound. Mackenzie, going to prison because you did this. Be thankful that you're still alive and have a future, whatever that may be. Dom and Davion were robbed of their futures, their hopes, and their dreams. Mackenzie showed no mercy on Dominic, nor did she on Davion. Only God at this time can have mercy on her soul. Thank you.
I'm just muting it in between because it's just loud.
Could you start with your name, please?
Yes. Should my name? Is there a microphone or anything?
These are, I can hear you.
My name is Angelo Russo. I'm one of Dominic's older brothers, and I'm speaking today for myself and also on the behalf of our siblings and our friends. Sorry. Dom may have been young, but he made the most of each day and had an impact on the lives of his friends and his family. Dom was a businessman, an athlete, a song producer, and an entrepreneur. Dom was not only my brother, he was also my best friend, and the friends in this courtroom also say Dom was their best friend. Many of my brother's interests and goals were centered on learning more about himself and how he could become a better person. He was always doing what he could to learn about others, how he could understand different situations, different cultures, and how he could better the community. He read from various authors every day and even recommended to me countless books that have made me a better person and helped me understand the world better. A few months before he passed, he told me that he soon planned on joining a branch of the military. Admittingly, I was against this, but he felt the need to not only serve the community, but also his country. He gave me countless advice, and he also helped with anything and everything. Nothing said or done here today can describe the loss or repair our lives after this tragedy. Kenzie's statement in the hospital to Detective Azu, "Can't you just take my license away for 10 years or something?" That statement is Mackenzie Shirilla, the most selfish person I know. Ironically, Dom was the most selfless person I know. Mackenzie Shirilla murdered Dom and Davion in cold blood and had already moved on. Kenzie killed Dom over the thought of losing him, and she made Davion collateral damage. She was driving, going to concerts, and dressing up for Halloween, no thoughts of the families and lives that she had destroyed. As I said, Dom read a book every day. He started 2 companies. He recorded his own music as well as recording music with myself and with friends. Dom helped anyone who ever needed a hand. He was an inspiration to everyone who had the honor of meeting Dominic. We love you, Dom. We love you, Davion. And God bless the both of you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so welcome. If you are just joining us, we are watching the sentencing hearing of Mackenzie Shirilla. She has been convicted in the court of law. We're just watching
The letters as exhibits to be part of the record.
We are just watching, I'm just pausing it. We're watching the sentencing hearing of Mackenzie Shirilla. We just finished reading the court documents. If you're new, welcome. Thanks for coming. If you've been here, welcome back. Please don't forget, I was just making or showing you guys, once this is done, we'll look at the maps and the Con Air swag. And so now we're going to head back to court. I don't know who's coming up now, so we're just going to head back.
And any objection from Mr. McDonald?
No, Your Honor.
And have you marked your letters?
I have.
Okay, if you would give those both to the court, please. Go ahead.
Your Honor, there's very little that I can say after hearing from those who love Dominic and Davion in regards to the impact that the defendant's conduct had on these families' lives. And we have received a series of letters that has been submitted on behalf of the defendant. In summarizing these, they describe her as a good student and a loving and caring person, and that she could never do something like this. And they continually, despite the verdict, refer to this as an accident and an unfortunate accident and tell you that she is also a victim. And there are just a few things that I think is important for the court to consider in determining a sentence today. Part of the evidence in this case and introduced in trial was evidence from the defendant's cell phone. There were search warrants executed on her various social media accounts, her school records, her medical records, things of this nature. And I think that who she actually was is directly contradictory to what is painted by the letter submitted on behalf of her today. One moment. I'm sorry, Judge, I thought we were set on this there.
It's fine.
I'm not even cool. I'm just one of those girls that can do a lot of drugs and not die. Gotta figure like a pin, I gotta figure like a doll. Don't care if you think I'm dumb, I don't care at all. Kenny best sweet if I wanna be adored. I'm the girl you die for.
Objection, Judge, none of this was introduced in the trial.
Shortly after the crash, Strongsville police were notified that they had received concerning emails from the community that the defendant and her mother were seeking employment with the Los Angeles modeling agency. Mackenzie Shirilla said to Natalie, "Thank you for the comment. I would love to work with you guys. I've been emailing you guys a lot. Such a great opportunity. Thank you."
Is there a date?
There is not a date on this, Your Honor. Based on the investigation, it was delivered to the police while the defendant was still in the Metro Health Hospital. So it was during that time period. She was in the hospital for several weeks. Shortly after being released from the hospital, the police were provided additional videos of the defendant from her wheelchair as she attended a concert down in the Flats. And again, Your Honor, I'm introducing these to the court to show the shocking lack of remorse. This was something that was being exhibited while the investigation was still going on, before she was charged and arrested in November of last year. And these were the sort of things that were coming to the police, and the shocking lack of remorse, coupled with the fact that the defendant was reported driving an automobile shortly after this event, that she was seen in Strongsville again driving a car. In spite of the fact that, as her mother testified, she got dizzy sometimes from a condition that she had to take salt pills for, in spite of the fact that it was, in fact, her mother who provided her with the car that she used to take Dominic and Davion's life. Halloween of last year, again, still before being charged, Mackenzie Shirilla celebrated Halloween with her friends at
Judge, can I just make one continuing objection?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Are these post?
These aren't Halloween of last year, so these would be post-crash, just before she was charged in November. We think the defendant has shown a shocking lack of remorse, Your Honor. We think that she has continually put forward that this was an accident, in spite of the fact that the evidence is in direct contradiction. Your Honor, you were on Progress Drive. You saw the evidence that was displayed in court. And Your Honor, we think that you are the person who is in the best position to decide an appropriate sentence. We have full confidence in the sentence that you'll give, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. McDonald?
Your Honor, may it please the court, I ask you to allow Mrs. Shirilla to address the court first.
Okay, that's fine.
for some reason, no matter how many times I watch this, it annoys me that she wore a tank top to court. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm pointing that out, but I just wanted to say it.
Can you start with your name?
My name is Natalie Shirilla. I just want to say, am I allowed to address them at all?
Sure.
I just want to say to the families that I'm broken, sad, and lost, and my heart hurts for everyone, okay? Davion was her new friend, and Dom was the love of her life, and he was part of our family, okay? I'm just so sorry that this happened, and we're heartbroken, okay? And then, Your Honor, this was a terrible, tragic nightmare accident to have happened that she has no memory of, and she will never emotionally or physically recover from it. She almost died too, and we're asking that you please not run the sentences consecutive. He was family, and we all loved each other. That morning of the accident, she called. I got a phone call that there was a car accident. Okay, so we went to the hospital, and I didn't even know who was in the car. The names had not been confirmed yet, and I'm gonna cry because I missed Dom so much. We loved him so much. So I called Dom like over and over again, praying that he was going to answer the phone, and he didn't answer the phone. So then I tried to call his mom, and she didn't answer the phone either. And I still didn't know who was in the car. I didn't even know if she was alive. I didn't know what was happening. So then we were in the waiting room, and then his mom she did call me. So I answered the phone, and I was like, oh my God, like, I don't even know who was in the car. Like, what's happening? Was that Dom? And she said, what do you mean? My son is dead. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And then she said something like, and now I have to wait until your kid's out of the hospital. And then I didn't hear the rest. I was like, we loved him so much. And
I'm pausing it. Watch this cop. He goes from being like, just normal to like confused. It's really funny to watch this cop right here.
Hung up the phone. I did not talk about social media. I didn't even know what was going on yet. Okay. So then that was it. So in the hospital, that Vitality post, I commented on that because somebody had called her a murderer. Okay. And she's not a murderer. So she didn't even have her phone at that point because the police had still had it. Okay. So I jumped on and I was like, she's not a murderer. She's more sad than most of these people commenting. She's been trying to get in touch with you. I mean, at that point, it was just
Actually, this guy in the background right here, too, is pretty funny.
Accident. So I commented on her behalf, not because of the modeling opportunity. Who cares about that? I don't want them to refer to her as a murderer. Okay. And I don't even know how that commented got on the phone because the police still had her device and she could not access her phone or social media. That's why I did it. And, I had called them asking if they could shut down social media because people were calling her a murderer and making death threats and organizing groups to, take her out when she got out of the hospital and stuff. So I didn't even want her phone. I don't care about her phone. I don't care about social media. I just wanted them to stop calling her a murderer so that when she did come to, and she did come out of surgery, multiple surgeries, that she wouldn't see all these people calling her a murderer because she would never, ever, ever murder the love of her life. Okay. For Halloween, for 3 months after the accident, she would only wear his clothes. She would only eat the snacks he ate. She would only listen to the music he wrote. Okay. She was laying in bed for 3 months crying. There was a shrine of him next to her with photos and things that he liked. And this.
Just a quick interruption from the narrator. She's already been convicted of murder. She's literally the only reason she should be up there is to ask the judge to have mercy on her daughter. That's it. She's already been convicted and she's wore a tank top to the most important day of her life.
Flower that lights up that he got her because he wanted it to be fresh and alive forever. It's like a little Beauty and the Beast flower. Okay, she's got this shrine of him next to her. So she was crying for 3 months. So her friends asked if she wanted to go out trick-or-treating or Halloween. And it was at OU. And she didn't even want to go. She said, I don't know, should I go? She couldn't even walk yet, barely. So I told her, I said, baby, please go. It's Halloween. You've been laying for 3 months crying, only listening to his music. Please go have just a moment of fun. a moment of fun. So we told her to go. My husband drove her. I brought her back home. She just needed a second of fun from losing her whole world, So that was us. We told her to go. And that concert she went to with Dom's cousin, Abby, they picked her up. They brought her there.
In her defense, in Mackenzie's defense, her and Dom had talked about this concert. And I don't know if they ever bought tickets, but in those text messages we read, they had talked about the concert. So that's like the only thing I can defend about that.
That was Dom, Mackenzie and Dom and Abby all decided to go to this concert together while they were in the hospital. That was for Dom. Everything she did after the accident was either in honor of him, to be close to him, or just to be by him any way that she can. She's like devastated and tragic. He was the air that she breathes. Okay. And they went with his cousin. We spent all kinds of time with him after the accident. What was the other thing?
I'm hearing an awful lot about your daughter. I'm not hearing very much about the two dead people.
Dominic, okay, I'm asking you for a leniency because this was a tragic accident that she does not remember. And Davion, he's a new friend. I'm so sorry.
What does that mean? His life is worthless?
No. God, no, not at all. They all loved each other. They all spent every day together. You know what I mean? I don't know too much for him.
Isn't that part of the problem, Mrs. Shirilla?
Sorry?
Isn't that part of the problem, that they all trusted each other? Isn't that part of?
It's not a problem at all. It was
It's a
wonderful.
problem how they all ended up in the car together and two of them ended up dead.
I understand what it looks like. I'm saying that it was a tragic accident. She would never.
But we're going to have to disagree on that.
I understand.
Right. And I respect your position, but you disagree.
Hold on, I just want to show you this cop in the background. Or he's like a sheriff's deputy, I'm guessing. This guy right here, he keeps making like wide-eyed, like look at his face right now. He's like, what are you saying, you weirdo? And this cop keeps opening his mouth wide like, what is happening?
How they all ended up in the car together and two of them ended up dead.
I understand what it looks like. I'm saying that it was a tragic accident. She would never.
But we're going to have to disagree on that.
I understand.
Right.
Look at his face. This kid right here, he's like, what is she doing? And this guy's like, are you kidding me?
And I respect your position, but you disagree with me.
I understand. But anyway, that's it. I just wanted to address those. We told her to go to those things, and then she did go with Dom's family. So look at that. Don't look at it with look on that with different eyes if you can, please.
Those things are not relevant.
Not at all.
No.
But she's a good, if you would have a moment, all you would need is 5 minutes of a conversation to have with her to learn who she is. Just that you would just need 5 minutes to learn who she is and what she's capable of not doing and doing, and you would see for yourself. That's all. I'm so sorry, guys.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Oh God, what is this? Oh, it's now she'll do her. I want to make a skit, like, you know, the girl that dresses up like them. I just want to do the one part when Natalie's holding the piece of paper. She can't even like muster up the like, am I allowed to address them? And say like, our hearts are broken, you know, without reading it. It's like, come on, put in a little effort.
Mackenzie, to address the court.
Mackenzie, you don't have to speak if you don't want to. It's up to you. Okay? You can sit if it's more comfortable, whatever's better for you.
The families of Dom and Davion, I'm so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken. I love Dom and Davion. We were all friends and Dom was my soulmate. I wish I could take all your pain away. And I'm so sorry. And to my family, thank you for the support and all the love you guys give. Thank you for fighting with me. I love you all so much. All right, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else from the defense?
If I could address the court, Your Honor, may it please the court. First of all, I'd like to extend my condolences to the Russo and Flanagan family. I can't imagine how difficult this is. It's terrible. people's acts have consequences.
That was like about as heartfelt as Natalie's. This is just terrible. Man, my voice wasn't really that far off for him. Thanks, dude.
And the consequences here are up to you. You have a range of possibilities as it relates to a girl who was 17 at the time, who is now 19 years old and has no criminal record. And as you so correctly pointed out in the opening, the decision when she gets out is up to the parole board. And we know how the parole board operates, and we know that everybody gets flopped at least once. So a 15-year sentence becomes a 20-year sentence at minimum. And it'll be up to this young lady here as to how she's going to conduct herself for the next 20 years or whatever the sentence would be. That would be number one.
Even her lawyer reminds her that she must conduct herself behind bars. Oh, I wonder if he had the opportunity to read the 57 violations that we read the other day. Well, now it's been like a month. This kid is still in shock. He's looking at him like, what are you saying? This guy's like, man, I got to make my grocery list. What is this guy saying? I got to go.
One. Second of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for allowing and taking the time to read those letters. And I would like to concentrate on the letters from the people from juvenile court. First of all, Miss Smith and Miss Kent.
They were so important. It didn't even make it into the FOIA drop, buddy. Those letters didn't come into the FOIA drop. And as far as I know, we have everything. Our friend legal has kept us in the know.
The people who have monitored her progress since she was entered the juvenile detention facility, where she was for about 9 months. And I would like to commend them for writing these letters, because ultimately, or initially, I tried to have them send a letter and the people at juvenile court wouldn't let them. And so they sent these letters anyways. And what do we see from their letters? We actually see where both of them say that she expressed remorse during the time. What the prosecutor played there was after the accident and way before she was ever incarcerated. They also both say that they have observed her grow as a person, that she's taken every single class possible, both culinary and college.
Except the funny part is that's nowhere in the record, literally. If anyone can find it, don't really waste I wouldn't waste my time, but we haven't seen anything about her taking any classes, culinary or college. No, that's not true. And if it is true, I'd love to see it, but we haven't seen anything like that. And I think we have everything.
She's actually been a model inmate, the letters say, and that she has exhibited what they call the highest level of behavior. They grade people 1, 2, 3, 4.
I wish I had Chris Cuomo right now when he was putting up all of the headlines of her getting in trouble behind bars. She's a model inmate. What, in juvie? Who cares? Juvie doesn't even count. I mean, I guess good for her, but that's nowhere in the FOIA drops. And maybe it is. Maybe I missed it. But I have not seen it anywhere. So thanks for being a model student or model prisoner in juvie. Now let's go to big boy school.
The better your behavior, the higher the number. She has always received the highest number. She's also been receptive to counseling, and as Ms. Kent said, she has been making amends. I'd ask you to pay special attention to the letter from Kelly Leitner that I think talks about certain things. She cites certain things. Ms. Leitner is asking you to consider that the brain is not fully developed until 25 years or older. Her choices, Mackenzie's, and actions are indicative of teenage invincibility. While based on your decision, you don't find that, I find that there are. I remember when I was young, the dumbest things I ever did, and I'd hate to be judged for the.
Did you drive your car into a concrete wall with passengers in it, though? Like, you might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I am pretty sure when you were a teenager, you didn't drive your car into a concrete wall.
Those things. So really now I'm going to give you my observations because I understand what you talked with Mackenzie's mother about acceptance of responsibility, etc. All I can tell you is that from the moment I met this young lady here, she expressed sorrow. And I would say during the course of this trial, in the initial emails and statements, she said, "I'm sorry for what you did." The prosecutor has said that she hasn't accepted responsibility. Well, as you remember, during the course of this trial, our defense was that it was a reckless homicide. That's taking responsibility for what she believes happened. So I would respectfully disagree with that. I've seen her express true remorse in the times that I met her in jail, and I don't think it's self-serving. I'm going to say as an officer of the court that I feel very confident saying that she has expressed true remorse. So ultimately, another thing that you have to ask for is the likelihood.
As an officer of the court, you also straight up lied to one of the witnesses when you said in the bind-over hearing that they didn't change the death certificates. And then we learned in this trial, or in this trial, that, oh, actually, oopsies, they did. So you're an officer of the court when it's convenient, just like the defendant, actually.
Recidivism, etc. Based upon all of those things, I respectfully request that you run the sentences concurrently. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that wants to speak?
Not on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Today is the sentencing of the defendant for the purposeful and intentional murders of Davion Flanagan and Dominic Rousseau. And in a way, it's the second time their families are gathered again to grieve. It's also a day when Mackenzie's family will grieve for the future of their daughter. All three of these families and the friends of these families are suffering, and all of their lives have been irrevocably changed because of the actions of the defendant. The unintended and collateral consequences of a selfish, intentional, and cruel decision by Mackenzie will ripple forever in time. It's literally changed history because it's ended 2 lives. 2 young men are dead. Their deaths were horrible, terrifying, and tragic. I will say again, if any reasonable person reviews Exhibit 802, there can be no doubt in your mind what happened this night. There can be no doubt of the absolute terror of the 2 people in that car. The defendant controlled all the events. She chose the day. Specifically, she chose a day just before her 18th birthday. She chose to drive the car, the time to drive the car. She chose an obscure, previously scouted route through an industrial parkway. She chose the target to hit and the victims. She chose the means and the method to follow through. And she planned and purposefully executed the events of July 31st, 2022. The review of the evidence supports the factual findings, the forensic testimony, the testimony of the first responders, the testimony of the emergency room doctors who treated the defendant, the testimony of the coroner's medical examiner, the testimony of those who knew the victims and the defendant, and the testimony of the BMV official who provided evidence that not only did the defendant deny any medical condition when applying for her license, which her mother co-signed and attested to, but also that just after the accident, Mackenzie renewed her driver's license and again denied any medical condition. In fact, the defendant was so concerned about driving that, as the state mentioned, during the investigation, she asked if they could just suspend her license for 10 years. It is hard to fathom how a person could be concerned about their driving privileges, having just been responsible for the deaths of 2 people. There was no medical condition that caused this as an accident. There was no mechanical failure of the car. The record is clear on the facts and the evidence. Her mother's uncorroborated statements without any medical testimony or records is not persuasive. It is also important to remember that even if Mackenzie intended to also die in this crash, that is irrelevant. A failed suicide attempt is not a defense to murder. And even in a murder-suicide attempt, when the perpetrator executing the plan survives, the other death or deaths are still murder. There's only one person who's responsible for the pain of everyone in this room, and that person is you, Mackenzie. Nobody else is responsible. This isn't the fault of Dominic's family or Davion's family or your family. And I know that each of you have asked your questions to yourselves, what if? What if I had done this or that? The truth of it is, none of us can control the intentions of another. And when there is a purposeful intent to harm or kill someone, it is the perpetrator alone who bears the responsibility for the choice and the consequences and the harm that follows. The difficulty for sentencing today, honestly, is whether or not I believe you should get consecutive sentences. I'm troubled that should I give you a concurrent sentence, that people will believe that somehow I'm being disrespectful to one of the victims. And on the other hand, I have to weigh the punishment. There's a very good likelihood, Mackenzie, that you will spend the rest of your life in prison. That won't be up to me. That will be up to the parole board, and that will be up to you to a great extent. I understand that the pain in this room wants me to impose the harshest sentence, but I don't believe that would be the appropriate sentence, because I do believe that Mackenzie will not be out in 15 years. So she's sentenced on count 2, the murder of Davion Flanagan, 15 years to life. She's sentenced on count 1, the murder of Dominic Russo, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other with credit for time served. I'll waive fines, fees, and costs, and your appellate counsel will be assigned. Are there any questions from the state?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
I just want to hide this because I want to see or hear the part when Low Test yells at her. And if you're innocent.
You're innocent.
What an idiot. Okay. What an idiot. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Con Air. And that, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please, is the end of the reading of the court, the trial testimony. Thank you to our friend legally. I think we need an applause. We did it. And drum rolls. We did it. We made it through. We did it. Yay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you guys so much for your help, for being here, for flying Con Air with us. We have a map that we started keeping. I will grab it right now. It was just started about a week ago because I'm assuming it happened the night that Con Air was born. And if you're new or you haven't let us know where you're from yet, we are tracking where you're all from. So drop it in. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see it. This is the American one. Okay, I'm sorry, just the US. And I only made their own map because there just happened to be a lot. Then I started a world map. You can't, so green, because I might change the color of the map. I liked it because it was colorful, but everything gets drowned out. Don't worry, Australia, I see you. We have some Australia, some South America, South Africa. We have Argentina and Brazil, and we have Ireland, Scotland, the UK, a couple Canadians, and America. I might switch this, but if your location isn't on the map yet, put it on or let us know. Drop it in the comments where you guys are coming from so we can give you a shout out. So then the next thing that we have is Conair swag. I'll make myself smaller so you guys can really appreciate it. We have what the fuck sweatshirts. We have Conair sweatshirts with descriptions of whatever camo it is, because our friend Debbie and I'm not a hunter, but I do like it. We have a Bet sweatshirt. We have a I'm hella pleased, Your Honor. What the fuck? Pharmaceutical sales rep. Another what the fuck? T-shirt, stickers, a cup, a Bet t-shirt with, we have Bet regular, like the Conair style, some more Conair sweatshirts. How do you spell eventually? Cup, Conair sweatshirt, Bet written in a girly way. Bet written, we have light and dark. We have a Conair flight crew. This is for our friends who keep us flying in the friendly skies. Some more Bet sweatshirts, t-shirts, Conair mug, t-shirt. How do you spell eventually? Conair boarding pass, Conair flight crews, stickers, and oops, I'm hella pleased, Your Honor. Sticker and Conair hat. So those are our, pretty sure those were all created on the same night that Conair was invented. It was invented on a whim, kind of on a thing. So we did it. Whew, we made it through. Now I want to come over. I was sneaking in and reading the comments while we were watching the sentencing hearing. We still have questions. We have a whole, I'll show you our questions. I have not updated it lately, but whenever I saw questions in the comments or, yeah, that was it. I made a whole sheet of questions. Some of them we've answered, some of them we haven't. We still have social media because I found the Balenciaga bag. Drum roll, please. Where's our drum roll? Oh, here's our drum roll. We found the Balenciaga bag. The reason the Balenciaga bag was so important was because Dom called her out for being super manipulative, and she asked about this Balenciaga bag. This is when we were reading the text messages for months. It felt like months. Then again, one day also felt like months. But she finally got the Balenciaga bag. I also have questions about the mysterious fall down the stairs that I want to look more into. We also have all of their social medias. So we might stay on it. We might move off. I'm not over it, though. I have questions that have not been answered yet. So that's where we are. Thank you guys so much for flying the friendly skies. We absolutely love having you. Flight attendants, thanks for preparing our doors. We are preparing for landing. And I'd like to thank all of our friends, the mods. Thank you so much for your help. I hope I changed all of the, Jamie noticed that some of the comments were getting stuck. They had to approve them. There are keywords that I have blocked that collect bots for like MK Ultra stuff when I was going through. I'm not over that phase either. We just haven't had the opportunity to talk about it yet. We're going to go in for the future. We have a few more things. I have questions that have not been answered for the Mackenzie Shirilla. I'm writing a book. My goal is to have it done by the end of the summer. And I want to talk it out with you guys so I can get feedback from you before it goes to print. If you'd like to get on the waiting list, I will create one. I've had a few people reach out to me asking that they want to get on the waiting list, so I will create one. It is a book that I have worked on for years and didn't know that it was going to become a book. And with that, I love you guys. I'm really grateful you're all here. Welcome back. Oh, come back. Oh, yes. If you enjoyed hanging out with us, thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Debbie is one of our very dear friends. She's part of the Conair flight crew. She helps us stay in line. There are only 2 rules, but please come back because don't be a dick and act like you're in English lit, not on Facebook. It's like, oh. And it's okay to, one thing, it's totally okay to disagree. Like, we don't obviously need to agree, but as long as you're respectful, most of the time, I don't really care about feelings when it comes to an argument, though, I'll be honest. Your feelings don't matter, facts matter. I also am very aware of the manipulation in everything. 100%. I'm writing an entire book about it. So I can't wait to dive into that. That will probably be our next deep dive. I don't love to jump around between cases. I like to go through it, figure out every question that I have, and then move on. And it's worked out well for us. We've done a really great job. So I'd love to thank everyone. If I know that the booking link works, I've had a few people book in the last couple of days. So if our friend Honeydew is in here, or something about bees is in here and it doesn't work, let me know, because I don't know if I don't know. Anyway, that's that. So with that, I will say hello to everyone. Thank you all so much for coming. Okay, wait. Jamie, Phil, Drama, Kendall are getting matching Flight Crew shirts. Yeah, we need to make some exclusive Flight Crew shirts. I agree. Yes, we should. Kendi does the best that she can. She's not around much, but when she is, she drops money. She's like Santa. She's like, hey, I'm not around much, but when I am, I'll drop you some cash. Honeybee, thank you, Debbie. Honeybee, yes. Yeah, let me know. We should. And well, first, Bobby, Phil. Oh, was Phil able to help you guys? Oh, yeah, please put your tray tables up in the upright position. Fasten your seat belts. If you need to know, I downloaded the flying instruction, it's just from like Delta, actually. And it's all of the things the flight attendants have to say. And I thought it was hilarious. Like, take a moment to locate the exits nearest you, keeping in mind that the closest usable exit might be located right behind you. There's a loss of the aircraft's electrical power. Low-level energy lights will illuminate. And all exits are indicated by lighting exit signs. Maybe our friend, the cowboy, or someone who's actually flown on Con Air can tell us if they actually have I doubt they have flight attendants. Like, what are they going to do? Poor Con Air. Oh, yeah. So that's it. We're done. Well, we're done with the trial. If we have more court documents, our friend Legal was the one who hooked us up with that. And I'd like to thank Legal. I saw that she wasn't feeling well, so we'll send her love and light. Oh, one thing I did not teach you guys yet, but I used to teach it, or I used to say it a lot during Idaho 4. Let's think of Legal right now. Legal, we're going to use our example. Okay, so if we don't know Legal, we've never seen her, but we do know, all you have to do is actually, you could do this for all of America, is just imagine a white light beaming down on her. Your intention is enough. You don't have to know what she looks like or what, we are bigger than our bodies. That's why, like the butterfly effect, you can have, it's really common to be able to read people's minds. You can read thoughts, or what someone's going to say before they say it. That's your intuition. And so we can all imagine Legal and anyone else who needs healing light. Then we'll just imagine them and imagine a big white light shining down on them, washing over their entire body from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. Any aches and pains or crinks, we'll just wash it right out. And when 2 or more are gathered in my name, hello, Kim House, then we know that it will come to pass. So, Legal, we are thinking of you. Anyone else? Oh, and I have another dear friend from Australia that we will also put on that list. Actually, if you need prayers, just drop it in the comments. I'll add it. We'll make another list. Jeez. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Kim. Hi, Ivy. So, wow, that was fun. I just have a couple more questions. And then we should probably move over to the book because it's already July 21st. I've outlined it. Now I just have to fill it in. But I'll have a better idea once I start explaining it to regular lay people, what I'm missing, what I need to add so that, we can get the message out there. It's not really a message. Well, I don't know. It's pretty much explaining the 2030, now 2050 plan, because we started doing the land prayers. If you are interested in helping humanity or helping the land or helping the future for your children or your grandchildren or your children's grandchildren, please grab the land prayers. They're in this link, or they're in this description. They're free. And either start creating a habit of prayer, meditation, and prayer, meditate, and journal, and I have tons of free stuff like all over the place, but start journaling. You can just do 5 minutes of each a day, so 15 minutes a day. But if you do the land prayers, honestly, we started doing them during Karen Reed. We had 6 weeks and she was acquitted. Like, we know it works. All of the ley lines, anyone who knows about ley lines, have been blocked intentionally. And so we are unweaving the black magic that's been woven into the land. So with all of that being said, Bobby Smalls! Yes! Oh, yes, Bobby Smalls. This is Bobby. He's our emotional support friend. He also has a life, which is fine. We don't mind that, Bobby. Please don't forget to drop, your location in the comments so we can put you on our map. We're gonna fill up the whole map. We're trying to get to 10,000. That's the goal. We can't do it without you, because ultimately we'd like to compete with the boys. I guess there's really no competition though. I don't know. That was one thing I always wanted to do, is compete with the boys, but why? Like, I guess it's not really a competition. Welcome. Oh, you're from Maine? Awesome. Thanks, Bobby. Thank you. Thanks, Bobby. You just bought me some lunch for tomorrow. I appreciate you. Thank you to all of our friends who have been here helping. You know, we just fly safe. We don't know where we're landing or where we're going. The speeches, thanks. Wait, Southwest used to do the funniest speeches for take. I don't know what that means, but that's awesome. And thanks to all of our super chat friends. Brian, oh, my friend in real life. Hey, Brian, thank you. Jamie's part of our diehards. I mean, well, that too, but our, I'm getting tired. What time? It's 10. God, you'd think I was like, it was midnight. Jamie's part of the flight crew. So thank Jamie. Thank her very much. Thank Debbie. Debbie's part of the flight crew. Phil, hopefully you were able to help out. I appreciate your help too. I told you, or I said it in a comment. I don't know if you saw it, but I used the hippie name and it worked. So we're going with it. Okay. Thank you, Jamie. My friend Brian from real life. Thanks. Kendi. Kendi's like Santa. She drops money in the wallet. So, okay, I love you guys. Thank you, Bobby Smalls. Thank you to Kendi. Thank you. Oh, did I just thank you? Oh, Ivy, thank you. I love you. I have no idea how the gems work, but I love seeing it. So thank you. I appreciate you. And Bobby Smalls, I thank you too. Debbie, Phil, everyone here. Amy, my finger tripped. Take off. That was great. Glad. Oh, thanks for joining us, you guys. Con Air. Here we go. Oh, the Con Air swag is just here for a limited time. Debbie, thanks for reminding me. It's not going to be here forever, because just like Mackenzie, we got to move on. I mean, Mackenzie's already forgotten about whatever she was thinking about. Thank you guys so much for coming and spending your time with us. We loved having you here. Oh, don't forget to drop your location so we can add you to the list, and grab the Con Air flight crew info. No, not the flight crew. We have our own info. I have to make you guys exclusive stuff. And we love you. Thanks for hanging out. That was I am glad that's done. I feel like it's not done yet because I still have some more questions that I can't find through tarot. So I just want to know what happened to that girl Kendall that night. Mostly. That's really all I really have left. And the purses, I have two more. Actually, sorry. I have one more question about when Detective Awesome goes into the hospital room and he's like, I have a Michael Kors, and she's like, no, his coach, or whatever the name brand, whatever it was. I want to know if she ever got that other person. If she didn't, Rosie, you are up. If she got it, then it's no big deal. Then the Balenciaga bag, we know she got. I wanted to go into that again or go into it. And then the last thing is what happened the New Year's Eve night. I want to know. Well, my personal belief from reading all of the stuff, we did it together, is she was definitely pushed. And there's more evidence that she was pushed in the social medias that I've found. I've just been screenshotting it. It's not hard to, you feel dumber. It's kind of like reading her text messages. You just feel dumber. But I've made tons of lists. Like how many times, one list I have not showed you guys, I actually kind of forgot about it, is like how many times did she threaten Dom? I mean, there's so much evidence against her that she created. We'll go over it again at a different time because I'm getting tired. I'm like forgetting my words. That's one of my ways of knowing I'm tired. Can't wait for your book. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm psyched. I can't wait either. My brother-in-law and I drove across the country, and he's very much a engineer. He thinks like very black and white. And I'm like a rainbow and butterflies and unicorns. And so one time when we were on that trip, he said, if you write a book, I promise I'll read it. And so the first page is dedicated to Mikey. And then to everyone who thinks in black and white, like, but anyway, that's that. I thank you very much for your support. I can't wait. Now we can jump. I need to jump into that full 2 feet, but I just have a few more questions about Mackenzie. And as things come out, we can analyze it or whatever. I just don't love jumping around from case to case. It just isn't. My style is 100% like do something, finish it, do something, finish it. I don't know. I mean, look at the Karen Reed thing. Poor Karen. Okay, everyone. I love you. Jamie, someone from Georgia was here earlier. I can't wait for your book. Thank you. Yeah, we're taking off. Now we're heading to bed. Bobby, did you see my new messages? Hey, Stillwater, Oklahoma. Awesome. Welcome. Hi, Stephanie. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming. Thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the things. We're going to get to 10,000. You're going to help us. And with that, I will love you and leave you. It's 10:15 on the East Coast. That was a fun flight. I don't know where we landed, but we had fun and we made it safe. They don't have that actually will be a fun deep dive. I might go down that rabbit hole tonight. I get to work tomorrow. I'm working during the summers. I work at the golf course and it's fun. So with that, I will love you and leave you. Thank you so much for all your help, especially the Con Air flight crew. Your captain is ready to sign off. I'll love you and leave you, and thank you all for coming. Good night.